Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. We are here. It is Monday at 1 p.m. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? The hours of service are all over the place. That came out this week. That's what we're going to be talking about mainly. We got this 9 million mile safe driver. 9 million safe miles. What the heck is going on with that? So we're going to talk mainly about hours of service. It's been everywhere. Let's get it out there. Let's talk about each part of it. What do you think of it? What's going on with it? Everything about it. Everything that there is to talk about it, we're going to talk about all the different hours of service. Of course, it's Roller Wiener Monday, and I want to thank Glenn Boatman for being the first one on here that I saw. So I'm sure there were other people, but that's who I saw first. So thank you for being there today as the first person, and we will get right into what is going on here. Let's see where I am. All right, so here we go. Wild Bill, thanks for coming in today. Hello there. It's good to see you today. Where am I? Of course, I've already lost my place and just started. That's going great. Trucker Hershey, thanks for being here. Mr. Skeptical, what's going on there? K. Wayne, hello. Steel Horse, thank you for coming in. There'll be some cat photos today, of course. I should do a review of roller wieners. Boy, that would be a delicious, that would make a great show on Travel Channel. I'd love to do that. Kane Slayer, what's happening there? GP Transco, thank you for coming in today. It's good to see you out there. Comfortable Man. Number 12, I wouldn't be caught dead at a Taco Bell. Holy moly. At 2 a.m., you don't have a lot of choices. Al Johns, thanks for coming in. D.A. Simon is here. The White Knight is here. I saw George Costanza right there. You are. That would be really good. That looks like one of the best lunches I've ever seen, of course. James Faust, hello. I hope you are doing well today. Thank you for being here. Tom, hopefully free, didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything yet. We just are getting started here. Luke is here. You spent a half hour switching trailers. That's great. I hope they paid for that, which we'll get into the hours of service thing, which is the real problem with it, isn't it? Right. And a brand new Pete will be given away at some point. That is true. Kim, what's going on? You're at a store for a change. All right. Oscar, hello. Yeah, you can't. I'm up there now. Believe me. The way is with something else up there. That's always people always like that better. Big, huge Mike. Hello there. What's happening? Michael Muller is here. Thank you for coming in. Todd, hey, what's going on, Todd? Larry is here. First time listener. Thanks for coming in. I do the show every Monday at 1 p.m. for about 2.5 hours before I got to go make my company some money. So that's what I head out there every Monday. James Reynolds is here. Vaughn just on. Hey, Climate Express need review. Climate Express. I don't know if I've heard of them. Zoo Dice. Hello. Dragon 51. More fun in California. Love going 55 all day. Have I ever had a roller wiener injury? No, that would be terrible. That would make the news. Ben from Denver. What's going on? Wandering Nomad, changing regulations to just get out of trucking. That'd be better, wouldn't it? Got the American Trucker shirt. Take a pic and send it. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. For people that don't know, I have a little store on Teespring that helps support what's going on here. So thank you for that. Jose, hello from Florida. Robert, what's going on? Hey, let's talk about this hours of service. So what do we think about the changes? I'm sure you've heard about them this week. Holy moly, we'll go through them one at a time. 30-minute break. Let's start out with it. You can do your 30-minute break on duty. You can do it on duty because FMCSA said, look, 30-minute break. As long as you're not driving, you're taking a break. Roy, thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Have a great day. Said, thanks for what I do. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it very much out there. You can also don't have to take a 30-minute break until after 8 hours of driving, instead of the current 8 hours of on-duty time. So 8 hours of driving. Oh, Roy, you sent me a story. Right, I did see that. That came in close to the show time here today, so I'll read that afterwards. Right, but I agree. I saw it. Thank you very much for that. So what about the 30-minute break? 8 hours of driving, and it can be on duty. So as long as you have had a 30-minute break at some point, you're fine on that. So it's going to make the break a lot easier. It may be one of the only things that I kind of agree with because the 30-minute break before off duty, it took 30 minutes away from our day that isn't paid. So you're actually getting 30 minutes back where you can work and make money. You'll be able to work during that time and continue to make money. So what's the story on the 30 minutes? Who's with it? Who's against it? King Bob, you're a little late. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate seeing you here today. Okay, Roy, about the truck school making students lose their license. I did see it said something about losing a license, right? So are they doing some kind of funny business? That's just great when they do that. These people will have to go retest. RG Utah, hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. You have material from Climate Express? Yeah, send it over there, Diggs. Send it right on over. You like the new rules to help with flatbedding, stopping the clock? Right, I'm going to get to the stopping one, which I'm not happy about, of course. But, Josh, as long as you're in here first 5 minutes, 5 minute where we get a grace period. Michael, God bless you. Thank you. Back to you and everyone out there. Do you save your live stream so people can view them later? Yeah, they're on the channel. They just go public like a regular video. So if anybody wants to watch it later, absolutely, it goes up there. Does it have to be a consecutive 30 minutes, Steel Horse? Yeah, for the 30-minute break, 30 minutes has to be 30 full minute break. Not you can't split it up into 2 15s or anything like that. That would work better, but it doesn't have to be off duty, though. It can be an on-duty time. It can be off-duty also, but any 30-minute on-duty time would qualify as a 30-minute break since you're not driving during that time. So basically, it almost takes the break away, and it should help at the fuel islands as well. Many people wrote about that. A libertarian view, I don't see the benefits of taking a break on duty. It goes against your clock, but I suppose it's okay. Well, you could take it off duty. If you're off duty during that time, you can take a 30-minute break. But what they're saying is that they want to give you a break from driving, so you don't have to have all these hours of driving. So they're allowing you to take a 30-minute on-duty break. So while you're fueling, because Martinez talked about it, and he goes, look, as long as you're not driving, you're getting a break. So whatever else you're doing, you're not driving, 30 minutes gets you a break. It kind of helps. It will help you make 30 more minutes of money because that time can be dedicated to working and making money, where this other break, which we're going to get to in a minute here, this 3-hour stopping, you're not going to make any money on it, but at least you can make some money on it. The 30-minute clogs up the fuel pumps, I know that was the biggest thing people wrote to me about. Found me today and liked the material. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for coming over here. I do this live show every week. If you're ever out here, come out and visit at 1 p.m. They shouldn't call it a break. Who usually works during their break? That's a good point. You don't work during your break. They're calling it now a break from driving rather than a break. So they want to give you a break from driving. That's why it's after 8 hours of driving, not just you can actually work 10 hours and not have to have a break. So I hear England isn't hiring experienced drivers, only students. Well, if people have sent that to me, I don't know where they're getting it. If you've seen that written somewhere, I mean, they're running ads and stuff for people. So, although how many experienced drivers actually go to England? Let's be honest about it. Do people 15, 20-year experienced drivers go, oh, I think I'll go over to England? They probably don't get many, but I didn't hear, I can't find where England is saying it, just that people are saying that it's happening, but nothing more than that. EarthSun, when do these take effect? All right, all these rules are currently as an advanced notice of proposed rulemaking, and in the description of this video, there's a link you can click to go comment. They want comment. There's a 47-day comment period on this. Go make your comments heard, and then it will go to rulemaking, and then they already said, Martinez said, since they're going to be extending the 14-hour day, there'll be lawsuits. So what I'm anticipating, and the way they're talking, late winter, early spring would be the earliest, but there's no date set yet. I don't see it going any sooner than that. So, I mean, that's what they're looking at. It's still faster than they normally do. So, Round and Round Brown, great channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Mr. D, it's good to see you here too. Kim, Mark, if you do a roller arena review, you'll sponsor one of the videos. I appreciate it. I need sponsors for that. Jeffrey Herring is here today. Good afternoon. So, Tina, hey, hello there. What's going on? J-Man, hey, what's going on there? Comfortable Man, good afternoon to you. James Faust would like to know who I drive for. Well, that's good. I don't ever get that question, so I appreciate that you asking that. I don't tell people who I drive for new people. It keeps them out of my videos. Hey, doggone it, I just cannot take all the people recruiting for their company on YouTube. Holy mackerel. They're making more in the recruiting bonuses than they're making on anything else, on working at the company. I don't recruit for them either. Keeps them out of the video. No recruiting here for them. So they got to go do their own recruiting. That's why I keep them out of there. No, Wild Bill was also wondering that. So at least that got answered there. George Costanza, if the FMCSA wanted safety, They would stop giving exemptions for people to allowing people to run multiple paper logs. The only thing the ELD do is keep us from making money who run legal. They do give all these weird exemptions, and I agree. If it's safety, then it's safety. So everybody needs to follow the same type of rule, not, oh, I'm getting an exemption, I get an exemption here. I don't like any of that, right? So I totally agree with you. If it's safety, then it's safety. Luke, I've heard England is cutting down on taking students. People keep saying that to me. Somebody send me something that says that they're doing that, because as soon as I heard that, I went on their website. They're still recruiting. They're running ads everywhere. They're in the papers and everything. So where is everybody hearing this other than people are saying it? Misty, I bet the England family is a major something over the FMCSA rules. Oh, they're going to love it out there, right? 300 a day moving mobile homes. Right, that's much better than over the road. Todd, are you going to the one in Dallas? No, I will not be in Dallas this year. Oscar, hello from San Diego. Hey, what's going on out there? Chrome Daddy likes this time of the week. Me too. Isn't this a great time? Kim, the reason I don't tell anywhere it works at England, but remember that's a secret. Yeah, I don't want people to know it. Believe me, the people that work there don't want people to know it, certainly. So that would make sense. Trucking with Harmony, thank you for coming in. Well, Bill agrees with that. J-Man, 9 million miles or 34 years. Okay. So this is interesting. Well, I'll take a break from the hours of service. So KLLM, look, this was in the news, and it's on their site. They said they have a driver now with 9 million safe miles, and he has 34 years of driving. And it's listed there that he just crossed the 9 million mile mark. I thought, what the heck? So I did some figuring. I did some mathematics. Look out. Sit back, did some math. So to do that in 34 years, he would have to drive 727 miles per day, 5,090 miles a week, every single day of the year for 34 years. But I did not figure in leap years, so you could have every February 29th off. And otherwise, you need to do 727 miles a day. This is not accurate. What we could expect is around 4.2 million miles if you did all that time on the road. That'd be 125,000 miles a year. That'd be more like it. 9 million safe miles in 34 years, not happening. I don't know why they even put it out there. It's listed on their site. He's listed way up at the top of their site. I just don't understand it. It certainly can't be true. You'd have to train that whole time, and then you'd still have a tough time getting it. So I don't like them doing that kind of stuff. John says, as a local driver, that's 30 minutes I don't have to waste off duty and finish the day sooner. Right. I think that'll be the most helpful part of it, I think, is the 30 minutes can be done anytime you're on duty. You can say, well, that's a 30-minute break. So I think that'll be very helpful. Kim says there's an empty NEMF, right, New England Motor Freight Terminal, Richmond, that Smith is going to buy. Oh, that's a good idea. They do need to get rid of all those, and they're hard to get rid of for some places. James, you're right. I have an England hat. I have a couple more hats on the way. Did you know these companies will just sell you a hat? They shouldn't do that. You don't know who's buying them. Josh, I work for CRST. I love the teaming over there. Stone Hauler checking in from Rome, New York. Hey, what's going on? Kim says, I do not drive a truck. I live in a van down by the river. I wish. That would be great. Mark works for Swift. All right. That'd be another good one. I haven't found a hat from them. I do have a CFI phone holder, which is right here. Very sturdy, very sturdy. I give CFI props for that. Right. Kenneth, hello from Michigan. This is your first time in the live chat in a couple months. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Things are going good. Thanks for coming back in. Cash's King Trucking is here from Iowa, 81 degrees. All right, probably picking up your 14th stop of the day. That's what I assume that you are doing. Do I know anything about dynamic transport? I believe I did a video about dynamic transport. J-Man, that's ridiculous. Yeah, leap year. And, and I thought about that later. I thought, oh, there's leap years in here, and somebody's going to call me on that. So we're giving them every February 29th off, 727 miles a day. So that's 7 days a week. That's every day of the week with only leap years off on the February 29th. Come on, KLLM. I mean, come on. And what they pay, double household goods miles there? James Faust says no way on 9 million. Right. Oscar, there's nothing safe about the FMCSAs coming out with. You make legal money running paper logs, and e-log isn't the root of safe driving. That is true. E-log is certainly not the root of safe driving. That's all the driver, right? 9 million safe thoughts. 9 million safe thoughts would be the only way you'd get 9 million miles, right? Mega carriers love the extended driving time changes. You know who's in on it? the ATA, OIDA, and the Truckload Carriers Association are all in bed together on this one. I never thought I'd see the day. And even though I'm not a fan, I still think you should join OIDA, right? I'm a member. That's my member number. You get some kind of $10 discount or something if you put that in there. So either way, join OIDA. You should be a member. It's still the best way for us to fight in the industry for good stuff, even though they're on the side of this. Number 2 thing, 30-minute to 3-hour break off duty can stop your clock. So you can get up to 17 hours a day. Now, you can only do it one time, and it's your choice how long it is, 30 minutes to 3 hours, doesn't matter. It has to be off duty. And at the end of your shift, then you must take a 10-hour break. You can't be splitting or whatever. So if you do this, you take 3 hours off duty, you can drive to the 17th hour, and then you must take a 10-hour break. This is the one that I was more against than anything. What do you think about this? And then we'll see what I think about it. So there you go. Trucker Hershey teaming. Yeah, I love to team at CRST. The Rooster must have done a lot of cheating on his log to get $9 million. Oh, right. But the problem is they don't pay. He only got paid for $4 million of them. Comfortable man, are they extending the 11-hour driving day? Well, they are going to extend it on adverse conditions. You can do 13 hours, and they're also going to extend the time of your day to 16 hours for that, which they currently don't do. But otherwise, no, your 11-hour driving day won't be extended. You can already extend the 2 hours of driving under adverse conditions, so it won't change anything for that other than extends your on-duty time to 16 hours. Michael, that's the legal way to make it. Remember, he's probably running 3 books for 25 years. Well, no, because, usually these companies, like where I am, and almost every company that I think I've ever heard of or worked for, counts your dispatch miles. So you could turn in all the logs you want or whatever. It only counts your dispatch miles for safe miles. So, and, he's only got a few years on me, and I don't claim anywhere near close. Maybe I should do that. I have 10 million safe miles. There we go. Kim, I ran into a guy from Sudon last week. He said that all their equipment has paint damage and body damage, and they're trying to buy new trucks. They can't get the loans approved. They just got that $165 million. They said they're going to buy a bunch of trucks. Cash is king. 125,000 miles a year would take 8 years to get $1 million. So 9 million would take 72 years. Right. Usually 125 is, a good average. And so he's been driving 72 years, but KLLM says 34 years of driving. So it's crazy to even put him on the board for that. And all these news organizations that are recovering at CDL Life and other ones said, we haven't been able to find any more than 6 million somewhere. Right. Because most people are not 95 years old when they're still driving. Kim, set against 42 cents a mile and 1,500 miles a week as an over the road. Oh, yeah, think about that. What if you actually made 727 miles a day? You'd be making good money, right? 7 days a week, right? Big rig Patriot. Don't you drive on duty anyway? Dropping and hooking whenever. I never sit anywhere 30 minutes on duty. It depends what you're doing. I mean, here's the thing. People fuel, and they're trying to get all that off duty or whatever. You can actually then log that legally, which is what you're supposed to do on duty. Go inside and get a roller wiener, and by the time you come out, it might be 30 minutes, depending on where you are, and you have your 30-minute break in that way. Let's see, where'd I go? I was always right. That don't IU drive. Here we go. Cox wants to give me a job, 23 an hour. I don't know. Do they pay overtime? And is that good money where you live? You know what I'm saying? Jobs, pay and stuff, that's partly personal, right? Unless they're giving you $10 an hour. If you think it's good money from the area, you can live on it, and it's a job you want to do, that's well worth it. I mean, you don't have to make the most money in the world to, money doesn't make the job good. I'd rather have a good job that paid less money, certainly, because I don't want to hate having to get up every day. KLLM has a truck that's able to make over 300,000 miles. Oh, well, he didn't say he drove the same truck. They might give him a new truck every year. In 34 years, he might have 4.5 million, but no way 9 million. Yeah, right. 4.2 is 125,000. So, he could really push it and stretch in closing in on 5. But 9 million, no. No way. Do you want another hat? I could send you one. Yeah, a company hat would be good, right? From a company that, I can't get a hat from. Sure, I'll take a hat. He probably got most of those 9 million miles before e-logs existed. Yeah, he just wrote them up. I'll say you can get a shirt out of that, right? How about that? I don't want to get a free hat. I'll exchange a shirt for a hat. How's that sound? Kim, for the stopping the clock, does sleeper berth count as off duty? No, sleeper berth counts as sleeper time. But there's no reason that since you could be off duty or on duty for your break, there's no reason you couldn't take 30 minutes in the sleeper berth for your break as well. That should count as well. They didn't go into that. I don't see why it wouldn't count. It counts now. Al, someone told me I was skeptical, but I doubt it. Very good. Josh, who says KLLM Drive It did it all legal? The thing is, the company's putting it out there on their wall, so they count dispatched miles. There's no way they're dispatching this guy 700 miles a day, 7 days a week. You got to have off time. Pocono Rudy, hourly pay is the only way to stop being hosed on your hours. Exactly. Drivers should be paid by the hour with overtime. Paul, what's up? Saying hi from El Paso, Texas. Hey, what's going on in El Paso? Captain Tucker, maybe KLLM included all his past student miles. I thought about that too. Maybe he's a trainer, but weren't doing training. Were they that long ago? Maybe they were. But even so, 5,000 miles a week with students, that's not fair to put him out there. He's the only one on the list, even close to that. I'm sure they have a lot of trainers there, that wouldn't be fair. And he didn't ever suggest like it's training or whatever. They had an interview with him on these sites. So, yeah, I just don't like it. Earth Sun, have I ever reviewed Loudoun County Trucking? We have a lot of drivers leave and go. Where are they going? What do they say the problem is? Michael, you get your nap time back. Yes, you could do whatever you want in that 30 minutes now. Charles, it's almost as if the FMCSA wants more truck drivers to have accidents. I'm not a fan. Look, stopping your clock for 3 hours, who is a fan of that? Why do people want that? You're not going to get paid for that time. Companies are going to expect you to sit at a dock and not get paid. Now it's going to be like, oh, you don't have to get out of there. You got 3 hours. That's exactly what is going to happen. That is not going to help anybody's pay at all. Jose Del Val Trucking, who wants to work 17 hours a day, even if it's once a week? I agree. Who wants to work 17 hours a day? What are you thinking about? Asking the day to be longer is not the solution. Asking for more pay is the solution. Not, hey, can we extend my day where I don't get paid for a bunch of it? That is not a great plan. I'm no fan of it. Big Huge Mike, it only seems to benefit the company and shipper receivers, in my opinion. Oh, well, what did the FMCSA say? Here's a quote. I wrote it down. This will help, quote, mitigate long detention times, unquote. Yeah, it'll help mitigate that you have to log the time, right. It'll help that you won't have to get paid for it. Come on. There will be way less pressure now to get us out of docks, to get us back going where we're supposed to be going, because there's no more, the shipper, they're going to be able to say, hey, get us out. And the shipper's like, no, you got 3 hours. You can sit here off duty before it's even a problem. That shouldn't be any kind of way to do that. Rosemary is new here. Hello. Thank you for coming in today. I do this every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, depending where you live in the world. I do get some international people. Greg, I got the same figures that you did on the 9 million miles, except you went one step further. You would have to average 73 miles an hour for all 70 hours. Oh, nice. Nice to squeeze in that many. Nice. Right. So another math head. So to squeeze it in 73 miles an hour, maybe he's an owner operator at KLLM. We'll give him that he did 73 miles an hour. So on the highway, he's probably doing 85, 90 to average 73 miles an hour. Perfect. I'm going to write to KLLM after this show. I should have done it when I read that article this morning. Wild Bill says it's 86 in the Windy City. Glenn, great opportunity to take a break during rush hour without having a negative effect. That is what the story is, that you can sit for up to 3 hours during rush hour and not have a negative effect. But the problem is you're not getting paid for it. And it puts way less pressure than on your company to pay you, because you can't complain, oh, I'm running out of hours or whatever, so you need to pay me more. No, they don't have to pay you anymore. They'll be like, no, you can just sit there for free. He got 9 million miles. Imagine what his teammate had. Yeah, his trainer probably had 12 million miles. James Faust could see 9 million miles if he was the pilot for their airplane. Right. And then it's still close. Gee whiz, 9 million miles. See a hill. Hello from Northeast Georgia. Waiting to tell you as soon as the new Loves opens. where I have lost my spot. Where did I go off to? This is really awesome, right? Hey, look at Mark loses a spot all time. Am I that far back? Oh, yes, I am. Opens at Commerce Church. Will have a Godfather's Pizza. Oh, I love Godfather's, right. Chicago-style pizza. Big, huge Mike. It's 90 in the Northeast. Nice. Charles, ELD saves from having companies run 36 hours at a time. Exactly. GP Transfer has 12 drivers sitting in orientation right now. Wow. Where should you get food for them? Up there? Right, Giordano's. Send somebody downtown to Giordano's and bring them a real pizza back. George Costanza, just get rid of the 70. There's no reason. Needs to tell you how many hours you should be allowed to work. If you want to work 11 hours a day, driving 7 hours a week, it's on you. You know, if they would enforce accident rules, that might be good. Companies are going to make you work forever, though. You'll never get, if they didn't have this 70 hours and all this, you would never get home. I mean, it's a real problem. Guillermo, hello, straight from the shop. Been here 4 hours. Got another 2 or 3 to go. Yikes. What are they doing? Rebuilding you down there? Kim, I'm heading down to deliver in Myrtle Beach this morning. You're going to sleep by the ocean. Oh, I love the smell of oil and dead fish. Oh, it's great. Josh, get him Domino's. Giordano's from there. They're close to Giordano's. Close enough to send somebody down there to get it. Luke, will you still need a 34-hour reset? Yes, the 34-hour reset, none of that changes. 70 hours doesn't change. Reset doesn't change. None of those things change. All right, Chris. Hello from Orlando. You like the stream? Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Pocono Rudy. The hills in the Northeast are steep. Roads are narrow going to the frac sites. Trucks are always smacking mirrors. Wow. Yeah, I know they do some of that in Ohio, Edge, right, and Pennsylvania. That's really something. You need the automatic mirrors like some cars have. Some of these fancy cars. Steel Horse says Popeyes. Yikes. What about Giordano's? We're thinking on the healthy side, Giordano's pizza. What is healthier than a 4-inch deep pizza? Big, huge Mike. If you get rid of the 70, they'll make you work more and you don't, someone else will. Right. It's never ending work. We can't try to work more. Working more is not the solution to making more. Okay. Getting paid more is the solution to making more money. Charles says Jimmy John's, only mackerel. GP Transco Mondays are good for sub sandwiches. Maybe a Firehouse sub, but up there, they're near Chicago. Okay, so I'm sticking with Giordano's. When are the changes effective, Oscar? All right, they don't have a date yet for the changes. Right, so we have a 45-day comment period. There's a link in the description. Go make your comments on the Federal Register at regulations.gov, docket number, everything. So, and then they have regulation, rulemaking, and then they said there'll be lawsuits. So late winter, early spring, probably no sooner than that, but there's no official date yet. Earth Sun got 138,000 in 12 and a half months. All right. You still wouldn't be close to 9 million, though, in 34 years. And assumedly, you'd slow down eventually from that. Jim, see, if you've been driving for over 15 years, how could you realistically calculate how miles you have driven? You don't. You estimate it. Right? I don't know exactly how many miles I've driven either. It's just a rough estimate. But 9 million, I mean, we know we're not doing any 5,090 miles a week with no brakes, except one day off every 4 years. That's not something that's true. So does adverse driving conditions include interstate being shut down by a bad wreck? They have said, okay, now they didn't list it there, but they said that it could include irregular congestion or traffic. What does that mean exactly? They're probably leaning towards giving you that time as time that you can use adverse driving conditions. They said it will help with congestion. And so I would say yes, but there isn't an actual rule written on it yet. But I'm saying, yeah, that's the idea of it. Rosemary, what about a newbie driver? And you did not get told what's going on. What do you mean, what about a newbie driver? James, hey, Mark from A Ridge, Brooklyn. What's going on in Brooklyn, with your thin pizzas? We're just talking about pizza. Roseberry's from New York. Nice. Kim, Mark, never let the facts get in the way of a good story. Oh, right. I never thought about that. Right. Gotta get this story going. 9 million. It got him in the news. Right. It did get KLLM in the news. If you faked your logs to get 11 hours a day at 75, you'd have 9.5 million miles at 34 years. Oh, right. That's correct, Daniel. But companies usually count dispatched miles. So it kind of hoses you even on company safety things and stuff, because you still aren't getting paid for all those miles. It's dispatched miles generally. I don't know if they do it there. That's the way I've seen places do it. You can't drive 726 a day because the 70-hour rule forces you to shut down after 5.5 days. So it would take way longer. Hey, that doesn't matter to KLLM. They got 9 million miles. Sea loss, I stopped ripping myself off. Always sleeper berth, I log everything. That's the way to do it. Always log everything legal. Maybe he's a junior and included his father's miles. Oh, it's like legacy miles. They go. You would just tell your company no, but companies, they're not gonna like that. The DOT face when he sees 730 miles a day. It's crazy that they even put that out there, and that all these news places pick that up and are running with it. It's ridiculous that nobody did any math on it. Was when you're in a dock door getting loaded or unloaded, unless you're in the sleeper berth, you're on duty. That's correct. Cam, nobody logs it that way, but you're totally right about that. Michael, I say get rid of 11 hours and let us keep the 14 at 35 an hour. Oh, nice, for all on duty and driving time, and stopping the clock because of the 30-minute break. Look, I'm agree. On duty, right? All that should be paid by the hour. Robert wants to get rid of e-logs, but then we go back to the problem of drivers running, 2,000 miles straight. Rosemary, thank you. Red Trucker, Trucking with Harmony. Hello from Wisconsin. What's going on up in there in the Cheese State? Snowing yet? I hope not. Michael, I'd still log as before, and nobody can make you. I agree. Dave, where is Gracie? She's in bed right now, and she will consider making an appearance. So she's having a little sleep time there because that's what she thinks about the logs, certainly. She is, just considering them as we go. Right. Luis, what's going on there? Leo, rules made for where I've lost my spot here, right, as usual. And that's good as I go. Man, I'm way behind. I got to catch up here. I didn't realize I'm that far back here. Rules made for not the driver, but the needs of the driver, if you get my meaning. Absolutely. The ATA loves this stuff. I'm not working 17 hours and they can't make you. Exactly. Coercion. Who wants to be working 17 hours a day? Holy mackerel. Thinking a bit. Oh, it's kilometers. I wonder if it's kilometers. I didn't think about that. That might be better. We could all get more miles. We just run kilometers. Well, if you run all dispatch miles in 3 books, you still get them together. Is it worth buying a used truck? You have a diesel mechanic degree, Luis. Let's see if we got an owner-operator to talk about that. I'm a company driver. I don't know about that. Peterbilt 379, how are you doing? What's happening today? Trucker, Josh, that's right. Get rid of the 70 and 30. Get a 10-hour break every night. If you do split like this, take these 3 hours off, you'll be required to get 10 hours. You can't split your sleeper. Team in a Monte Carlo SS. That's the only way to get it going, right? Trucking with Harmony. So hours of service changed now for good. There's no date yet on the change. These are the proposed changes. We'll see what happens with the lawsuit, right? Every day you hope and pray you get your CDL before driver's trucks, no problem. Babies right now that are having their diapers changed will barely see the beginning of that. 85 Monte Carlo, right? 305 in it or 350. Love it. Rosemary, it's a rip to sit 3 hours with no pay. I agree. All they did is add 3 hours to your day. You're not going to get paid for it. And drivers are everyone that I saw online that was talking about it all loves it. It's horrible. You don't want to sit around without getting paid. Took you 30 years to get 4.5 million miles. He must be counting team miles. Well, he's by himself now. That's a lot of miles in 30 years, right? You got way more on me than I do. Matt, you should do a video on A.N. Weber. Right to KLLM say only 9 million? My garbage truck drivers have twice that. Yeah, that's good. Trucker Josh, there's no smell in Myrtle Beach. It's actually a beautiful sight to sleep if you're in a big truck along the ocean. Well, I remember going there, they used to be full of oil. What happened to when we went in the 70s, okay, there was so much oil out there on the beach that they had jugs of gasoline, I swear to you, in the back of the motel because you'd walk down onto the beach, and that's how you cleaned your feet off before you went back in the motel. I'm sure they don't allow that. I don't know. They don't allow you to put gasoline out there now, but that's how we got that cleaned off then. Yikes. So an owner-operator will let you stop my clock, but for company drivers, that is not any good. It's not any good for either of you because stopping your clock, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid, and we want to get paid. That's the whole goal of everything, right? George Costanza says, thank you very much, by the way. It's time for a blue parrot break. Yes, it's always time for a blue parrot break, right? always, and go get your Blue Parrot. I was at a Love's over the weekend. I stopped in the Love's, and one of them had a $40 card on it. So it was, for the $450, it was like $129, but you had some kind of $40 instant card. I would check that out. I don't know that much about it. I also want to thank GP Transco for being here in the chat as well. Since I'm right here doing that, thank you, GP Transco, for being here answering questions of drivers. Always check Jay out at Auto Transport Intel at 8 p.m. Central tomorrow, Tuesday, live right there on his channel on YouTube. And go see him at CTS Business Coaching. How about that? And then we, of course, take a cat break. And we come back to me. People are like, yikes, what is going on over here? So that's the story with that. For the break, right. It's 9 million miles with all drivers combined. Oh, that's all KLLM drivers, right? Luke, thank you, right? Mighty Motive. Canadian hours of service are optimal when operated with ELDs. That's the way to lock it in. It's a 9 million Canadian miles. Oh, I don't know what the translation is in Canadian miles. JP, let's boycott companies with driver-facing cameras. I agree. If you're going to look for a job, and it's on my, at Trucking Answers Nation, I have a page of questions that you should ask companies when you're getting ready to go there, and you can choose the ones that apply to you or whatever, stuff to think about. One of them is a driver-facing camera, right? If they have a camera, I'm out. If the camera faces you, I just am not a fan of it, right? Trucking with Harmony is not with Crete. Rosemary, going to do trucking, is too old. You're 56. No way. You can get into trucking at 56 and you will get a job. Absolutely. And I don't know you, so I'm going to assume that Rosemary is a woman, because you can have any name you want on there, but that will actually help you. Companies are actively trying to recruit women, so that will actually help you to get a job in trucking. So that will actually, it'll be a good thing for you. New driver company messing with your logs, giving me more hours to drive. Yes, isn't that great? Some companies, right, some unscrupulous places go in there and adjust your log. They adjust it. That's awesome. GP Transco, getting paid more for just driving is not the same as earning more. Drivers need to read the fine print. Yes. It's 72 cents solo question I heard. I know. These places advertising 72 cents. No. I've seen that too, and you know what? Some of them, they don't pay you for empty miles. So that's really awesome. So half your miles are not, you don't get paid at all. So it's 72 cents. No. Don't just go with what a company mileage pay, right? What do you make a week? That's the most important thing. Trucking with Harmony, you're 53 and doing it. Yeah, look, no problem. I'm in my extreme upper 30s, but you certainly can get started at almost any age. As long as you get past the physical, which is not a hard thing to do. It's not like the physical super complicated, really. Ivan's, I would run away from them, as it depends where you are. Yeah, 72 cents, because they say it, no way. Do you think DOT might just go review records for KLLM? I don't think so. They're just putting this out there in the news, so there's no reason to review it. They can actually give you an award for whatever they want. They can say you have 40 million safe miles. That doesn't mean anything to the DOT. So no, I don't think so. Rosemary, you are a lady. Okay, how do I be careful? Yeah, just be careful. Just be a safe driver. I'm saying that people can have whatever name they want, but trucking companies are looking for women because there are not that many women in the industry. So it will make it a little bit easier for you to actually go get a job. So that'll actually help you. Do you self-favor those? Log those 3 hours. On duty to throw a monkey wrench into the works. Most drivers are required to count the freight and be responsible for anything missing. Well, look, if you're counting freight, that's on duty time, right? I don't falsify the log. Okay, so I don't do it. So whatever you're doing, that's work, that's on duty time, and it should be put on duty. Certainly you should be getting paid for it. Misty, pizza's the perfect food. Cat has all 4 of the major food groups. Just saying yes. Especially Giordano's, it has every food group that you need. I heard a lot of bad things about being a lady driver. Look, it's mostly men, and some men are kind of boorish, we could say, out on the road because they have the anonymity. You don't know them, and they're at a truck stop or whatever. Yeah, it's absolutely true. James Faust, with paper logs, 99-cent cures your hours problem. Yeah, right. For a couple bucks, $2, you had 140 extra hours to drive, right? Crazy. about to quit TMC. You're tired of working for free, says Mike. They do have a lot of time there that isn't paid, which, but the thing is, I don't know why you don't just go in there and pay yourself, because you're an owner at TMC, right? It's employee owned. You can just go get a raise. Just go say, hey, pay me, write me a check. Just order them to do it since you own the company, really. See, that's the thing about employee owned. It doesn't mean anything. It really, for the employees, it doesn't really mean anything. We should get paid by the mile marker. Well, that would do better in Canada, right? Or on I-17, they had those metric markers on there. They're Russians. Every time I ask them to understand what they say and just dismiss the problem. Get to somebody that can, at least understand you. I think all the FMCSA altogether should be eliminated and trucking should be free, no restrictions. No, you would never get home. You would be expected to drive 24 hours a day, because at least with the hours of service, right? At the end of your hours, you can say no, and you're being backed up because you're running legal. If you could drive 24 hours a day legally, then if you go, I'm tired, they go, well, keep working. And you go, I'm not going to, and they go, you're fired. So that's a real problem. At least now they can't do that to you. I'm certainly no fan of that, because a lot of places would work you all the time. You wish you could 5-5 split. You're going to be able to 7-3 split. So people that like a split sleeper, you can do 7-3, and both sections of that now, neither section are going to count against your 14 hours. Currently, only the long section doesn't. So the 3 hours also will not count against your 14 hours. So if you're willing to 7-3 split it, that would at least help. I think this 3-hour change only helps owner-operators. I don't think so, because the 3 hours are not getting paid for it. They're still not getting paid. Cartage Studios, 2.7. What miles is the circumference of the sun? Well, we can't see it because it's all flat. Rosemary, I think Swift says their school's free. Yeah, a lot of places, if you'll stay a certain period of time, 6 months to 18 months, I've seen, you can go to truck school and not have to pay anything. I would encourage you, if you haven't signed up with anyone, to call your state's Department of Unemployment and see if your state pays for it. A lot of states pay for it. They give you a grant, and you don't have to pay anybody back. And so that's the best way to do it. Cash is king. You still haven't had to charge your Blue Parrot since you got it. They last forever. For being so small, that little battery in them, they seem to last forever. Blue Parrot appreciates your business. Guillermo, even no matter what, as long as you're wearing it, and of course you have to wear it 24 hours a day once you get it. Guillermo, Roy, we hate working for free. Who doesn't want to work, get paid? Best Buy is a Blue Parrot sale. I never thought to get one there, right? I happen to be at the Loves in Remington or whatever that is up there on I-65 North, and that's where I saw them with the card. You got like a $40 card with it. Anthony, if you stop your clock, it gives you time to get another trip in for the week, which equals more money. Maybe. But the time that you stop equals less money. You're not being paid. So I don't want to work more. I want to make more. That's two different things. Because there's only so much time. That's the thing about money and time, okay? There's only so many hours a day you can work. So instead of working more of those hours, you need to increase the amount of money you make for every hour that you work. So stopping your clock so that you can work later, is not a good plan for me. I don't want to work 17 hours a day. I just don't want to. Trucking with Harmony, no school is free. You have to work for a company at least a year. We're going to have to pay it back. Yeah, they have this. It depends. Each place has a different amount of time. Your best bet, try your state first. See if you can go for free. A lot of them are giving grants. The idiots in D.C. don't know much stress we have. They just go to the store and get their stuff. Right, they don't think about it. And one article said, 80% of stuff is brought by truck. Look, everything is brought by a truck. What 20% of things have not been brought out of truck at some point? Why do truck stops like TA not let you use reward card when you fill up your personal car? I don't know. I don't know that. I thought you could use the points for anything. Andrew, any suggestion for YouTubers about owner-operator leasing, buying your own truck? Okay, so I'm a company driver, so I generally don't talk too much about that. I don't have even the rates down this week because I was all in this log thing. So I don't know. I'm no fan of leasing at all, right? All I see are horror stories. Go buy the truck on your own. That's what I could say about that. Rosemary, you're handicapped but can walk and see, but I'm a slow learner. Is that okay? Yes, that is okay. But, tell your trainer or whatever when you get a trainer, You can get it. If you can drive a car, okay, and you can, go through life where you can live on your own and stuff, I think you can do it. Absolutely. I mean, look, give it a try. We only regret the things in life that we don't do. So always try it out. You're much better off not being able to do it than regretting, thinking, oh, I wish I would have done that. Don't ever live your life with regrets. J-Man, thanks for the live stream. Thank you for being here. Remember, everybody, every Monday at 1 p.m., driving a reefer, getting 50 cents a mile. Nice. Been driving for 1 month. $50 for pickups and 25 detention after 2 hours. Well, I would say that's not terrible. That is actually very good at 1 month. Very good. Charles never went to school, jumped in the seat and took the test. Passed. Must be natural. Yeah. You got it. When was that? Were you able to get a job doing that? To do so that I get good training. Yeah. Look, you're going to have to just let them know or whatever and just ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask questions. But look, do it. If you want to do it, do it. Comfortable man will not work for a company that has a cam facing you or driving. It's BS. I agree. I don't mind these places that put them in and let you cover it and say, look, if you got problems, we'll turn it on because you're the one that makes the camera turn on. So like this CFI, right? It's off. And if you have problems, then they turn it on. So, because you should be doing your job. So I'm okay with that. Michael, I got hired at the same time 70-year-old retired teacher as long as you could pass the DOT physical. Wow, 70 at the same time as a 70-year retired teacher. That is really good. Wild Bill is 56 old. Not for you, sir, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm almost 20 years away from me, so no. They're probably going to stick you in a doghouse outside with a bowl of dog food. That's the hotel. Some of them have better hotels than others. Oscar, is there a way to know exactly how much distance? Yes, they said 150 air miles is 176.6 statute miles. Yes. So, yeah, that's exact. They did write that down. So, there you go. S28, 56 years old. No cameras yet at Smith, but they're trying stuff like speed gauges and a full outside camera system. Hey, those outside cameras, some of them are pretty cool. I've seen them in videos. I'm in for that. Zipster just joined up and enjoyed the channel. Thank you, and thanks for being here. Steel Horse says, no, you are not old. I love it. Right. There's no such thing as Canadian miles. It's all the same distance. No, we have to translate it, for Canadian. Because it's cold up there, the miles are shorter. So, because of shrinkage, right? George Costanza. Luke, sitting at the rest area, I saw Western Express driving on the cars only lane to the New Jersey Turnpike. They have places to be. Western Express. They don't have time to wait around. Cash is king. I'm at orientation day in Iowa. Really? Oh, you haven't done a video about that. That's awesome. You have to let us know about how that's going. They got us KFC for lunch. I love their coleslaw. Just so you know. Josh, nothing wrong with outside cameras, but boo on inside ones. Yes, the one that faces the driver, not a fan. Guillermo started driving in 2001, never worked for KLLM, but have driven like 10 gazillion miles. Right, because you say so. That's good enough. Imagine if you work for KLLM, that'd be 20 gazillion miles. Wow, Bill, you're not 56, you were asking. Right, you're in your extreme upper 30s as well, I think. They're going to put a camera on me. I'm going to give them a show. It'd be ugly. Look, some of them love it. Cash is king. Falsifying logs hurts every driver. It reduces everybody's pay. Let's just say it. When you falsify your log, everybody else's pay is cut. You're cutting your own pay. People don't realize that. If a company can get you to do things that are illegal and work for free, why are they ever going to pay you? If you'll sit around and not expect any money, nobody's ever going to pay you. You have to up your own game basically and say, look, I'm not going to do all this stuff for free anymore. You just can't do it anymore because nobody's ever going to pay you. James Faust, maybe 61. Nice. James thinks he's the oldest one in here. Maybe. We have a company chef that cooks for the orientation class all week. That is super sweet. Is it a celebrity chef? GP Transco, we get about 10 brand new Teal Freightliners each month. I finally saw one the other day. Every time I see a GP Transco, it's not one of those trucks. I finally saw one. It's first come, first served. The oldest truck is 3 years. Even if a driver doesn't get a new one, it's still good. Yes. I finally saw one of those teal ones out on the road, though. So that was pretty nice. Implementing requires a level of investigation. Drivers don't always make more hourly compared to miles per hour. We like the daily pay. That's good too. I just think that because of all the waiting time, the best way for drivers to ensure they get paid for their time is hourly. Is that going to happen very soon? Probably not. Probably is not going to happen. I've only found really 1 or 2 companies over the road that pay by the hour. It's very unusual. Looking to get CDL after you get experience, get hired by a company like GP Transco. Yeah, that's a good idea. Zipster says, what's a good training company? What would be the advice? New company pays per mile and hourly for everything that else included sitting in traffic. Cash is king. That's really good. So you can find a place that's going to pay you for your time. That's awesome. The lady trucker got a CDL through a grant. Nice. Can't tell if it's the greatest thing ever or if you made a mistake. No, I think so. I think you did the best thing because look, the heady trucker, I said lady trucker, sorry, right? But no, getting a grant through the state, right, is the best way to do it. You don't have to pay anything back, and you can change companies. If you're somewhere you don't like it, you can still leave and not have to worry about it. So that's the best way to do it. You must walk around Meyer with the blue parrot on it. It's a requirement. You have to walk around everywhere, Steel Horse with the blue parrot on. Once you get it, you're required to have it on. You could get an emergency call at any time. Lunch break is over. You'll catch the rest of the show on replay. Thanks, Cash is King Trucking. Thanks for coming in. Rosemary, can a trucking game help me? Maybe. I never thought about that. The Army and Air Force and that, they look for people that play video games, so maybe. The clock stopping message would reset and recap hours. It could push the time back for that. That's true as well. In 1 year, you could put in 80 for 70-hour shifts plus 34. That's we have all these numbers, right? 9 million, 70 hours for. I don't believe it's true, but it's very possible. In 34, but this guy, no way. That's 727 miles per day. 727 miles per day is how you get to 9 million miles in 34 years. When did the new rules take effect, Mike? Okay, so they don't have a date. There's a 45-day comment period. Go in the description, click the link, go make your comments to the FMCSA. Then there's rulemaking and lawsuits. They already said there'll be lawsuits. We're looking at probably end of winter, no sooner than that. Mad Maldy, the guy shows up with a sedan to the U.S. Food Center and fills the backseat with store goods. Yeah, he's probably going to some convenience store. Just get rid of 30 minutes and 70 and leave everything else. They won't ever get you home. Just got my own truck with a company you work for after 2 years. Nice, T880. Nice. You get paid by the load and do good. If you're doing good, that's what matters. Not that you're not making as much as somebody else or whatever. Are you doing good? Only get 40 cents, not paid for anything else. Forget that, right? That's time to get out of there. You need to, Steel Horse says it exactly right. Time for a new gig. Yikes. This is, Gracie is surprised. You don't get paid for anything else at 40 cents. Forget it. Forget it. You can do better. You can do better than that. When it comes to leasing a truck, make sure you do it with a company that has a solid, dedicated customer base. If you lease and the spot market goes down, you need a new partner. Yeah, that is a disaster. I'd rather people bought a truck themselves. Always own your asset yourself, right? Got a job with Trans System out of East Grand Forks, Minnesota. What do you think? 40 cents per mile is garbage, especially when you're not getting any other pay. If you're getting $75 a stop or something, then that's one thing, but yikes. We'll let the peeps who made the new rules let the driver truck. Oh, yeah, none of them drive. FMCSA, Elaine Chow, you think she drives a truck? I don't think so. It's hard to even see trucks from the back of the limousine that she gets driven around in. So, Bob Williams, when I first started in 1968, you could drive 16 hours a day. 8 hours driving, 8 hours off, 8 hours driving. Seems like we're going backwards. Yes, the old rules, you could drive a lot more. Exactly. Give me a 73 CL 9000. Oh, 290 Cummins and a Super 10. You can run 9 million miles. You could never run 9 million miles at 38 miles an hour and 6 miles an hour and Don or climbing Don or yikes. You're never going to get anywhere doing that. Wouldn't salary be the solution? Because with hourly, you still have the problem of not being paid if they don't give you loads. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think hourly, when you get up and you're ready to work, they go, you be ready at 9 a.m., you should be getting paid. That's how I think it should work. Salary is not bad either, though. Steelhorse says, we get stopped paying 30 an hour after 2 hours and paid for every mile you turn. Yes, you do very good there. It's a great place compared to a lot of places, certainly way on the top of the list. Brian, hey Mark, long time no here. Thanks for coming in today. I have the trucking game and it's driving backwards is hard. Yeah, Rosemary, it's not going to be the same in a truck, but I never thought about trying a game like that. That's interesting. Glenn, maybe he confused 9 million for 9 million roller wieners. He didn't look like somebody that consumed 9 million roller wieners, but I can go along with that. Jim says fingerless gloves are a must-have for new drivers as well. You'll need to get a set of fingerless gloves if you're just getting started. Those help you also put on your headset that never comes off. It doesn't make sense to discuss driver pay without talking about the Fair Labor Standards Act. Transportation is exempt from minimum wage and overtime laws. I'm never a fan of putting minimum wage on people because say you make $7.25 an hour. That's no money. It's not like that's any kind of money. So I agree with you that drivers it should apply to drivers just because it applies to everybody else. But I don't think $7.25 an hour is certainly any kind of solution to anything. I've never been hard based on your Pac-Man skill. Nice. 9 million miles in 34 years. Who is this guy, Trump? Oh, that's good. Right into the politics. I just watched a video of KLLM driver taking down a telephone pole. Hopefully it wasn't this guy with 9 million safe miles. How's Boyd? I did a video about Boyd, I believe. 36, 40 cents, both are bad, and being gone is terrible. Look, being gone for 40 cents a mile, that is no kind of life, okay? Even if you got, 3,000 miles, that's $1,200, right? And you're going to really work for that 40 cents. No way, right? You can do better. Seriously, you can check into places and do a lot better than that. You should do a video on the people who are on the FMCSA board. Could be interesting. Yeah, look, it would say lawyer. That's how it would go down there probably. Or related to the ruling family in North Korea. I'm not sure if they're related to those people. Misty, oh, come on. Don't ask KLLM to mess up a perfectly good story with the truth. I can't believe that. When I was reading this, I thought, oh, this is a misprint, but it's everywhere, and it's on KLLM's wall too as one of their top drivers or whatever. So I'm like, holy mackerel! Did anybody do any kind of math on this? Hey, a big fan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate seeing you. The heady trucker, you're a rookie, so it's hard to go anywhere that pays well. Look, you can do better. Considering you're not getting any extra pay, you could do better. If you want to stick a year out somewhere, I guess you could, but you're giving up, thousands of dollars over that year just from all the extra pay that you're not getting. Trucker Hershey had a phone call. What did you miss? You went off to get a phone call? Steel Horse, why does Pac-Man make me want to eat roller wieners? Yeah, that is a good question. Maybe because it's Roller Wiener Monday. That's certainly the case here as every Monday, of course. Okay, I'm dealing with some stupid people. Yes, very stupid people. I do all the miles and I do it huge. Yeah, exactly. That must be how they're doing it over there. Tanker outfits pay way better. They can. They're just like, when you look into those, I don't do many tankers on here, but it turns out they're just like Vance and everybody else. Some of them have all this waiting time pay. Some don't have any pay. It just depends. What do I think of Teamster contract driving? They probably get paid for all their time. Rosemary, $12.75 an hour in New York. No way. No driver's getting any $12.75 an hour in New York. You can get $12.75 an hour at White Castle. The 11, I will say the one here advertises $11 an hour in Lafayette. So no way is anybody doing a $12.75. You'd go broke in New York City or anywhere in New York, really. The heady trucker. I can't get a hazmat endorsement. Unfortunately, you don't need it. It would be nice to get the endorsement, but you can get a job without the endorsement at a good place that'll pay you certainly more than 40 cents a mile. I mean, that's way low, considering you're not getting paid for anything else. Steve, you're finishing a 30 for a reset in Bondage, Alabama. Like the show. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Flip-flops are required for new drivers. Yes, especially in the winter, James Faust. I enjoy that. And for walking on the spotlessly clean fuel islands. You'll be a new driver. What will you do? Well, you can don't accept $12.75 an hour, certainly. You can write to me at the email there, and let's talk. What are your concerns? And we'll talk about it. GP Transco is getting out lunch. Suggests going on the website. Yes. Did he go to Giordano's? Truck is big and naive. Look, you can do it. You can do just fine. Anything you put your mind to, basically, you can do. Well, Bill, $7.25 per hour is the solution to the poorhouse. I know, look, we should be subject to it just because everybody else is subject to the Fair Labor Standards Act. I don't think trucking should be exempt from it, but $7.25 an hour is no solution to making any more money. Holy mackerel. Earl, have I heard of a company offering to cover all tolls for only $80 a week? Are you talking for like an owner-operator? So I don't know what you're saying about that. Because if you're a company driver, they're paying the tolls. Okay, as a company driver, I'm not paying any tolls, and I'm not up-fronting the money either. They're going to put a thing on the windshield or give me the money up front. I don't front money for the company. It's their truck. They're going to pay the tolls. 17-hour clock is terrible. Stop taking 19 naps a day and find a different company. 17 hours, people, is so long. Okay, and asking for 3 hours. You got it now. Everybody got it. You're going to get 3 hours of unpaid time. Congratulations. I mean, that is not a solution. Why is OIDA for this? I mean, it doesn't give you flexibility. It gives you flexibility to make less money. I was able to get, where did I go? Right. As usual, I'm way off. They charge you $80 for tolls, then never send you on a toll road. What the heck? I got to get the whole story on that right. I was able to get in 3.5 million miles before noon today. You must be also a KLLM driver. Do you know this other guy? I didn't write his name down. Glenn, I started at 54 cents with non-CDL towing experience a while ago, so you can do better. Yes, 40 and no extra pay for anything? No, you can do better. Round and round brown. KLLM made a number so crazy they didn't figure anyone would check it. It got posted. All the trucking sites carried it. All the news sites and that. I'm like, wait a minute, 9 million miles. No, and I thought, I'm going to see some old shriveled up guy. I look at this guy, he's like 50 years old or something. I'm like, no way, right? No way. Is this so? That's when I started. They should have put a picture in of, somebody super a lot older. Phone calls require permission. LTL outfits pay the best. Company driver and home every day. From what people write to me, that seems to be good. There are a lot of road companies, though, that pay very well, too. Many people are right here in the chat now that are doing very good there as well. It just depends where you are. Not every road company or not every LTL company, not great. James Faust says it's White Castle Wednesday. Oh, that would be a great day, wouldn't it? Charles, hotshotters can make a lot of money. They say it's better than driving a semi. It depends what you want. You got to buy the truck. There's not too many hotshot company jobs, I don't think. Which is better, Wiener Monday and Taco Tuesday? I like White Castle Wednesday now that that's out there. Boy, consider moving the show just for that. James D, you just got pulled over for rolling an orange light. Cop was cool, didn't write you a ticket, just doing it. Have to take a 30-minute break. What is an orange light? And so you're off on your break because you're not under the new rules yet. Just for things and giggles, I tried a mega carrying because I haven't been over the road in the last 4 years. They said 38 cents with 18 years. And Guillermo, you probably have to go with a trainer, right? Because they go, oh, you're just a new driver. Nobody's going to come and do that, right? I hope you didn't accept that. Big Huge Mike, I listen to podcasts, and depending on how good the podcast is, depends if I walk around my blue parrot on. You have to have it on anywhere. You never know when an emergency roller wiener call could come in, anything. What if there's a dropped roller wiener and you're in the area? You've got to go do something. They hung up when you laughed. I bet. Who could not laugh at 38 cents with 18 years of driving? That they don't consider that experience is just ridiculous. J-Man, thanks for a great show. Got to get back. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Luke gets 45 cents plus 22 stop and home weekends. So you get an extra pay. So the 45 cents plus stop pay in that, way better. Just imagine that 40 cents if you got $22 a stop. Just that would be way increasing your pay. Comfortable and drivers should not pay tolls. It is not the driver's responsibility to pay tolls for a company truck. I agree. I'm not fronting any money for the company. It's their truck. Whatever they need me to pay, they can get a transponder or give me an advance. But they gotta give the money up front. I don't own the truck. They own the truck. They get all the risk and the reward for it. I'm an independent contractor, JB Hunt, and I can run any throw out for $80 weekly. Okay, so you own the truck, and they're saying you pay one fee, and they pay the rest of the tolls, right? Anything above 80, they pay it. Now, depending on the toll roads, that might be a good deal, depending where you live, right? Hourly salary is interesting, says GP Transco, especially when you convert it from annual pay. For example, your drivers earn $41 an hour if you do the math. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, and that's not a bad way to advertise it. Breaking it down like that and say, look, it's $41 an hour here. And that when that's true, that's very good pay, right? If you're a new driver, you get low money. You don't get as good of money as somebody that's been driving for a while, certainly. Well, Bill wants to know, 50 is old? Well, if 52 was old, then I also live in the truck, so there's that as well. Better than nothing, I suppose. Well, start, just at least look around. Just call one place a day. Just call one place and see what your options are. Since you live in the truck, just see what your options are to move somewhere. Because what if you boosted your pay by $8,000, $10,000? It's a lot of money over a year, Did I see the article, Mike, about UPS using driverless trucks between Phoenix and Tucson? Yes. Drivers are in the trucks as a backup, but expect to be out within 2 years. They'll have to change the laws. We'll see how that goes, and that's not that far. It always has to be in the South. It's always on a dedicated run. Yes, exactly. The day is coming. The day is coming, but it is still a long way off. It's still a long way off. Like decades before there are many of these trucks on the road. Dwayne, where don't I work? Yeah, there's a lot of places that I wouldn't work. Guillermo, no, you own your truck. Oh, and you're trying to see how bad it's got out there. So you must really be disappointed then at 38 cents, right? What's really disappointing is these companies think like, because you don't drive over the road or whatever, like, oh, your experience, that doesn't count for anything. That's ridiculous to say that. That's just a ridiculous thing. But these companies all do that. If you haven't driven in, so many states or within 1,000 miles of your house, they consider that as no experience. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that. Steve, it's like that officer, the light was pink. No, not red when you went through. That's what I was wondering. Is it just changing colors? Randy, a trucker, I just bought a Blue Pair 350 at the Atlanta, free with your points. That's really good. That's what I use at 350. Really like it. What do you think, right? Doing very good. It lasts a long time. That's Blue Parrot for you, right? Love it. Thanks for mentioning it. I appreciate it, right? I just noticed you have a corporate chatbot in here, GP Transco. Yeah, I think that's an actual person there at GP Transco, which I appreciate them coming in and answering your questions every week. So if people have questions, ask them, because I believe there's an actual human back there. Brian, roll into shipper constantly with 550 miles for a day, 9 hours of driving time, and sit 5 hours getting loaded. Yikes. Dispatch says drive your last 2 hours, then take a 7-3 split. That's safe. Go FMCSA. You couldn't do that. Okay, so 9 and 5 is 14. So if you're going to continue to drive by having 3 hours off, you have to take a 10-hour break. So unless you took that 5 hours as a sleeper time, so you're not really logging that right. If you stop your clock at all to go beyond 14 hours for this off-duty time, you then are required to take a 10-hour break. You'll be required to. But either way, the company is going to say, hey, yeah, that was off-duty time or whatever. So you're going to have to log it legal. If you're waiting to be loaded and unloaded, that's on duty time. So that's how it would work. Mike, not a corporate chatbot. Yeah, I believe there's a person back there. Exactly. Trucker Hershey, lucky I'm only 39. Exactly. I mean, eventually I'll get way up there, but that's a ways away. Blue Parrot should have a Trucking Answers Nation Special Edition Limited. Oh, that would be great. Every time, and so if you're wearing that in, you get 10% off of roller wieners. Sorry I'm late. What's up with the new rules? Like the show, Troy, thank you very much for being here. 30-minute break can be done on duty, and it will only be needed after 8 of driving time, 8 hours of driving. And this 30 minutes to 3 hours, you can do off duty one time and extend your 14-hour day. What do we think about that? Is that good or is that not good? This is, Gracie, this is what she thinks about that. She is not that impressed with it, really. And neither am I. Extending your day without getting you paid, I'm not a fan of that, because it's exactly what is going to happen. It's not going to give flexibility. You're going to lower your pay. Dr. Stinky, which is another great name here. I started with Pam at 17 cents. You lasted 3 months. When was that? And is that split, for teaming when you started there, or is that solo? Because they do pay more than that for solo. Let's always want to try to keep it real, I understand paying a new person less comes with a risk, but these megas abuse it paying slave wages, especially we consider a 70-hour work week. Some of them work for less than minimum wage. I totally agree. I agree, and the people write to me all the time. I get these $300, $400 checks. Mark, I'm gone all week. I can't get home, and I grossed $410 this week. What do? I'm like, you got to leave. There's no other solution to it, and then people are stuck in a contract, but they're not making any money. They're going to lose their house. So what do you do? Do you leave? What do you do? You got to go because you got to pay your own bills first, and then you can worry about how to fulfill the contract once you start making some money. But $400 a week to be gone is no kind of money. Remember, 11 at White Castle is $440 a week. And you get home every day and to eat all the White Castles that you get because when you clean up the room or whatever, I called Welfare Western Express board. They told me 34 cents. Oh, with 14 years. That's nice. I'm at 69 cents, terminal to terminal, and 28.05 for on duty. No double, no trips. Oh, so that's pretty good because Western Express Western Division I've seen in the high 20s. So they're giving you the benefit of all your experience. So isn't it incredible? 34 cents. And if you have a 2,000-mile week, you're at $700 with a stop or two in there. $700. And then they wonder, that place is one of them that complains, we can't get drivers. There's no way to get drivers in this industry. S2H home everyday LTL. Right. That's the way to do it. 69 cents and 28.05. You're making some money doing that. So trucking is being pretty good to you. And all people have to do is go look around for this stuff. People that are not happy with the money that they're making, there's money to be made at the right place. So how will the ELD know that you're going to take a 10-hour later if you use a new rule stopping the clock? You'll be required to. So say you stop your clock and then don't take 10 hours. That's a violation. As soon as you'd go back on duty before 10 hours break, it would show a violation there because you'd be required to take 10 hours. So the ELD will know the laws just like it does now, presumably programmed in there. So if you went on duty at 7 hours, bingo, violation, you didn't have a full 10-hour break. So you would have to go back and take a 10-hour break. Jose, they do the same with mixer truck drivers, doesn't count as experience. Yeah, I don't understand it. If you're driving a Class A vehicle, that's experience. I mean, come on. Our Catracho, are self-driving trucks replacing drivers? No. Decades away before any large amount of self-driving trucks come out in the industry. Steel Horse, our oldest driver is over 70 years old. Oh man, that person must have 14 million miles of experience. But they probably, at your place, they've probably been there for a while too. But look, if you want to work at 70, more power to you. If you can pass the physical, right? Mike, I'm disappointed when I see recruiters in person. They've never, the hotties in the print ads, yes. They look like overweight middle-aged drivers. That's who the recruiters are, except they're usually not drivers at most places. Steel Horse, still a human in the truck. Yeah, even now, these self-driving trucks, right, have 2 people in them. So they have 2 people in them. Dan, drivers will always be needed, so the company has someone to blame when the truck crashes. There'll always be drivers. People did this with light bulbs. There's still people that make candles. Okay, there'll be a driver, oversized loads, over-dimensional. That would be too hard to program in because there's not that many of them. They'll always need some drivers no matter what because, even though that's decades in the future, they'll always need good drivers for that kind of stuff. So there'll always be a driver need. James Faust says, I drive for Blue Parrot. I wish they had a truck I could drive. Roger Penske is here. I said it before, any fool can drive forward down a Class 1 or Class 2 highway. It takes a real driver to drive in the city. Yeah, city driving is more difficult if you're in the city all day like that. And then companies don't treat that like it's any kind of experience. Would you guys either get 3,200 miles a week at 36 cents and home every 2 days, or get 25 a week and stay out 2 weeks? Man, 36 cents is just a killer because you're not making any money. 3,200 miles. I don't want to work at that much. I want to make more for the time I work. I mean, that is just a killer. So out of these two, I'm like neither. Anyone drive for Wilson Logistics? Oh, yeah, let's see if there's any Wilson Logistics drivers on here. DQ at 44 cents on the second job. Right. How about 2,500 you home every week at 44 cents? That's still low. 44 is still low. Flavio's checking in. Thanks for being here. Guillermo's right. Neither. I'm with you. Right. That's neither of those are going to cut it in today, certainly. With just a few phone calls, you can do better than that. Willpower wins range short in IndyCar and Pocono. Penske wins again. Yeah, congratulations to that win. That is awesome. Brian, that's right. You need 10 off. Anyway, point was new changes benefit the company. Oh, absolutely. They said that it's going to mitigate long detention times, and the company ATA loves it. Truckload Carriers Association loves it. Even OIDA likes it, which I was surprised about. Comfortable man, neither of those are good. I agree. Mark, what's up? America's #1 trucking podcast. Oh, yeah. Thank you for that, Arthur. I appreciate it. 2 days a week. One is what you're saying on that one, Guillermo. Is pre-trip on the clock? Rosemary, yes. Any work you do to the truck is on the clock. It's all on duty time, legally. Steel Horse thought I drove for Cyberdyne Systems. Oh, that is going to happen, certainly. Michael, Welfare Express basically abuse those that cannot go anywhere else. Western is a place that I'll send people to when they write and say I have 9 felonies or something like that, and they've called places and can't get on. Then Western is maybe your only choice. There's a few others, Carolina Cargo. Sometimes PTL will put people on that have felonies. So it's only like a second or third chance place. For anybody, I mean, to start in like that kind of low pay, no. Dr. Stinky split and back in 2017. Layover was split as well. Okay, so it was split, right. $12.50 a day. Well, at least you got something for it. $12.50 a day. Where do I go around Missouri, Kansas, and then I want to be home every week? Look, you're in the middle of the country. There's everybody there. GP Transco is getting tired of people assuming you're a 1099 company because you're in Chicagoland. Yeah, GP Transco is a regular company that hires you as an employee. If anybody thinks that that's not the case, there are a lot of bad actors that congregate in the Chicago area. GP Transco is not one of them. You know, because there's a few bad people in there doesn't mean they're all bad. Just like drivers or anything else, you know, GP Transco is a up and up place where they're not 1099ing everybody. So Red Monkey Trucking is here. Hello, what's going on? Dr. Stinky in 2017, Pam was starting solos at a quarter. Oh, that's awesome. I remember my first solo for Godo distribution was 25 cents a mile in 1990. Running a van because I initially ran flatbed at percentage, but my first van was 25 cents in 90. So that's pretty good. The heady trucker, most I got was $9.96 for 2,800 miles. Yeah, there's better than that. Keep researching. You'll find a company that will offer. Yeah, just be dedicated to just calling around, and you can do better. Wants a W-2 but have your own truck? Well, Guillermo, you can get that truck out there on Craigslist and get it for sale. Michael, the training companies basically drive people away with low wages, then complain they can't get drivers. Exactly. Oh, we're not paying you anything, and now we can't find any drivers, and everybody we do get quits, huh? Adam, if you're not in training, averaging $400 to $600 a week, it's time to leave the company. Exactly. I mean, come on. $400 a week, you cannot live on that. People leave, then their spouse rightly is mad because the ads, and when they come in and give you pizza, they go, oh, it's $1,000, $1,500 a week, and then you're making $400 a week. Come on. Won't be good cents from out for 9 years. Clean, no accidents. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not going to be any 40 cents. Let's see what we got going on here. Right. Roger Penske, if you can drive in Chicago, LA, and Jersey with a 53-foot and have no accidents, then that makes the person a real driver. Well, I think that local driving is just as difficult as, you know, over the road, if not more so. And for companies to not count it like it doesn't matter, it's just kind of crazy. I'm looking for something that's not hundreds of miles away. I agree. Commuting is horrible. If you stop for 2 minutes to use the bathroom and log it off duty, you'd break the 8-hour continuous driving. So you eliminate the requirement for a 39-minute break. Oh, that's interesting. It's not 8 continuous driving hours, though, fuelless trucker. It is 8 driving hours. It's 8 driving hours, and then you need a 30-minute break before you can drive again. It's not continuous driving hours. So you, although that is clever, that wouldn't work under these regulations. Arthur, I never understood why companies get away with low pay, but drivers haul thousands to $1 million a load. Oh, because people accept it. I mean, that's the bottom line of it. you don't get what you want, you get what you'll accept. So if you if you're not getting paid for time, like I see people writing all the time, oh, they don't pay detention here. Well, because you accept the not being paid for detention. If they couldn't get anybody to do it, then they would have to pay it. James Faust wants to know if I drove for Chewy. The cat looks well fed. We got her. We haven't had her that long, and she's pretty big, right? And and she doesn't like being body shamed, by the way, but that is true. She is well fed. She was 18 and a half pounds or something when we got her. So absolutely. If I can see driverless trucks for the, if I can see, where did I go here? As I missed a click. If I can see driverless trucks for the easy roads, and even then they'll need someone in the truck in case it wrecks. Know where these trucks going to do on old mountain back roads. Exactly. It's going to be interstates, and how many years before they can go all the way up into North Dakota and stuff in the wintertime? Cat is just hairy. No, she's pretty big. Geez, these numbers are terrible. These drivers are starting on here. I agree. Come on, guys, have some self-respect. There are other places that pay better. Yes. When you're getting $400 or $500 a week or whatever, you got to leave. You cannot accept that kind of pay. You're a professional, okay? Companies that, we treat you well here, your family, no. You treat your family better than that, I hope. I'd say I don't want to be a member of your family when you treat them like that. Wilson Logistics advertises a lot on social media. Yeah, what does that tell you? That's the thing, right? Just because they pay doesn't mean they're any good. That's true too. But once you're giving somebody $400 a week and expecting them to live in your truck for 7 days, that's not a plan. 14 hours was invented for keeping lazy drivers moving, because the old rules allow drivers to take their time getting the load down the road. Well, drivers that take their time don't make as much money, certainly. The highest paying job is not the best job. That's true. I've always said that. You don't have to have the highest paying job. You need the best job for you. Any word on the driver that killed all those people in Denver? Nothing more on him. Right? I haven't heard anything more. I think the case comes up later this year, like in the fall, late fall. So they haven't had anything more like that, right? One time a company that let you 29 cents per mile to start with 15 years experience. Wow. Because they start everyone that way. What planet do you have to drive on? Yeah. Oh, sell them well. You're not starting me that way. That's the thing. That's what it pays. You say, that's not what it pays me. So I guess we're going to have to part ways. People that want to call GP Transco, the recruiter's out for lunch. He's eating Giordano's pizza, and now he's back taking calls. He was mentioned on here and says hello. So he filled himself with Giordano's, and now he's back. If they couldn't get anyone to work for free, they'd just claim a driver shortage. That's what they do now. The problem is, stop working for free, right? Don't accept not being paid. You're never going to get paid as long as you'll sit there and work for no pay. No company is going to pay you then. Time for a roller wiener break. Loves 75 South, exit 29. All right. The heady trucker, after I got on the road, I realized the trucker shortage was a giant fairy tale. It's super fake. There's tons of drivers. These places have hundreds of, some of them have 100 people a week come in. They have 3,000 trucks, and they do go through 5,000 new people a year. Okay, there's no shortage. They get plenty of people. Michael started at Welfare Express and moved to K&B. Been here 3 weeks and happy with them so far. Good. Are they treating you okay there? Because when I did a video about them, then they wrote to me, right? And I actually talked to the guy on the phone, and they said they're changing their policies and stuff. They don't wake people up now, which they used to do. They used to send people to the truck stop as a welfare check on you to see, we haven't heard from this driver, to get you awake. Have they done any of those things to you? Because they do pay good. I mean, if they would stop doing that, I'd probably recommend the place. It pays pretty good. K. Wayne says Gracie is big boned. Exactly. That's exactly. S2H. You adopted a black cat. Oh, there was one on the weekend. I volunteer with a cat rescue, Lori's Kitty Rescue here in Lafayette. And she had a black kitten over there this weekend. So I was over there on Saturday all day working the booth at PetSmart. It was adoption weekend, so that's good. And thanks for adopting a black cat. They're harder to get adopted. And so I hope, send a picture of that cat. I would love to see your cat. So I'm a huge cat fan. Anyone know anything about Hill Brothers? Maybe there's a Hill Brothers driver on here right now. TJ Jones and the Bull of the Woods is here. What's up? Misty, truck companies don't understand that we work to live. We don't live to work. Yes, it's not a Harley Davidson commercial. Come on, people. One more thing on this, right? They had 5 different things here. The short haul, which may or may not affect everybody, goes from 100 to 150 miles and from 12 hours to 14 hours as long as you are released from the place you start from. You won't need to have a log as long as your company allows it. So short haul exemption gets an increase as well. Can't believe they're trying to replace driver jobs with self-driving trucks, says Jeremiah. That's insane. Look, it's coming. The day's coming. Okay, I even think it's going to happen. But I probably won't live to see it. But when there's a lot of them. But the day is coming. The day is going to come. You're looking at 20, 30 years before any amount of them are on the roads, I think. Loves the selling weed in Colorado. No way. The White Knight. Get a picture of that. No way are they like an official seller. Come on. Guillermo, you make $750 for a 43-mile loads a day, and we're underpaid. Holy mackerel. Of course, with owning the truck, right? But see, so there's money to be made, right? Red wine, what is a drop and hook percentage? And do you get detention pay? How much and after how long? Okay, so that's the GP Transco. I could stop by sometime if I want. I would shave her down. Oh, and give her a line cut. Oh, holy mackerel. No, I think we'll just leave her hairy. Michael, they keep me moving, and if I call them, I say I need a break, they will call me, but that's my alarm, so I'm fine with it. They keep me moving. If I call them, I say I need a break, they will call me. See, that's what the thing. They've been doing. They did that to people, and maybe it's not as bad with you now. They would call people. Look, and I had people talk to me about this and stuff. You're in the dock when the light changed. They knew about it. They would get some kind of notification and call the driver and tell them to get on the road. They would call a driver to truck stop and say, hey, there's truck whatever number down the way. Go knock on the door, that kind of stuff. That's really super annoying. And they did that enough where there's tons of videos. What is that guy's name, right? Somebody will post it here that did a video about it. You should watch that video. And so if they're still up to that, that is a real problem. GP Transco is going to deliver loads for free for charity from cradles to crayons. Oh, that provides clothes and school supplies to kids in need this September. Stay tuned. Yeah, cover that. And I'll post that out there. That's great. Thanks for doing that charity work, stuff like that. Companies never have to do that. It's always great. Jeremiah, they try their best to lower expenses as much as they can and make as much profit regardless of the consequences. Well, that's what companies are in business to do, right? Red Monkey Trucking says dogs are better. I think you've been on the road too long, so I don't think so, right? The CPAP that the companies make you do is also fairy tale. I'm more tired now. Fortunately, we don't do it here. Some companies make you do it. I think some of them are in cahoots with the doctor or the maker of the CPAP, but if your doctor says you need it, I'm not going to say anything about that. It's a medical thing, but it should always be between you and the doctor that treats you, not somebody that sees you for 5 minutes. That's what I think. I've been at K&B 6 months. You've only gotten one call at night and never heard welfare checks. Yes, there's tons of videos about it. One guy did a video while the police were there to check on him. So he videoed it while it happened. It absolutely happens. And it's on there. It's on YouTube now. So absolutely. Cats rule, dogs rule. Exactly. Steal horse. Exactly. But cats are a fun challenge. GP Transco are a fun challenge since you need to earn their affection. It's like a second job. A lot of cat lovers here. Yeah. She comes out at dinner time and when she's ready to get petting. And that's about it, as we know, right? James Faust, missing prime truck was spotted at a rundown truck stop. Really? I wondered about that. I actually looked for that this week. I didn't see anything about it. So what happened? What happened with it? Guillermo worked at K&B when they used to bring in the office and adjust the log for you and tell you the times you stopped. Then you sign the log. I know. See, that's the thing about this place. They do all this, shady stuff in the background or whatever. And then, they get a problem like that. But the calling the drivers, waking you up, having the police come and check on you, having other drivers wake you up, that kind of stuff, that needs to end. If they're still doing that, that's no good. Red Monkey Trucking, your pit bull needs a snack. Hey, be nice about that. I like dogs too, okay? So don't get me wrong about that. But, just cat's favorite. I want to solve a problem of low wages. Bubba organized labor that will solve the problem. You close down a trucking company. But running company is nothing without the drivers. I agree. Look, have I not said that on here? You go one company at a time, close that company, nobody works, everybody parks at noon Monday or whatever. In an hour, everything changes. Believe me. Michael, K&B was featured on 2020 with a driver with Hugh Downs, 2020, on the phone telling a tar driver to run. Okay, run hard, get paid, I think is that now that I thought about it. Right, exactly. I didn't know it made 2020. I don't get to watch much TV, but I didn't know it was on there. That's awesome. There's a video about it. It's got millions of views. Go check it out. Derailment in Kansas. J.B. Hunt lost a lot of freight. Yikes. Cats are great once you learn their behavior. I used to hate them. Now I love them more than dogs. Cade B is trash. Waking somebody up like that is ridiculous. That you've had 10 hours, all right, maybe my load doesn't deliver and I can take another couple hours or whatever it is. I'll figure it out. I don't need them doing that kind of stuff to me. And they pay $12.50, at least that's what they advertise as a minimum. But they can't overcome poor treatment. I'd rather make $1,000 and get treated better than $12.50 and have some cop wake me up. GP transfer regarding drop and hook and detention pay. Depends on where you are. 50%. Yeah, they have detention, all that stuff. Right. Josh, I have 6 dogs and 4 cats. Yikes. All I'm thinking is the food bill for that. The doctor I saw was above the truck stop, so that might say something. That's the thing about it. These doctors, and I don't, if you have a problem and your doctor says you have a problem, I guess that's good enough for me. But I don't like getting treated by somebody that I don't get treated by. You should get treated by your own physician that sees you all the time. This kind of stuff is ridiculous. A robot would walk twice as fast. Exactly. Guillermo, K&B once told me you've been there at the Constantine 6 hours, wait 4 hours, you can pick up and be delivering 700 miles away. Exactly. That's the kind of stuff that they've been known to do there, that people have put videos out about that I don't like. I don't like it. I just don't like it. DQ Patrick is 35 miles off I-44. Steelhorse says, watch TV. Exactly. Since I work in the evenings, I don't get to watch much TV at all. Right. I love my kitties, but your boxer's a close second. Then your wife and kids. Where's the car come in? The car should come in right after the dog. So James Faust, it took off headed west towards Barstow because California loves all illegals. So the truck, oh yikes. Steelhorse gets 15 for a drop and hook. Let's talk about the part number 5, adverse driving conditions. Okay, so here's another change to the log rule, adverse driving conditions. Right now you can add 2 hours to your day, giving you 13 driving hours. You get 2 extra driving hours, but it doesn't increase your 14-hour day. So under the new rule, you're going to also increase your day to 16 hours. So those 2 extra driving hours can be done after the 14th hour, if that's what it takes. And they're talking about it, meaning congestion. It's not 100% on that yet, but currently you can't do that. Adverse will give you 2 extra on-duty hours. The driving hours can be done beyond the 14 hours up to 16 hours. So I think that's a good change to adverse conditions because it didn't really extend your day, and that would be the idea of an adverse condition. But currently, right, it has to be something that you were not you didn't know at the beginning of your trip, and there's no way for you to know about it at the beginning of your trip, meaning you couldn't just walk in and not looked at anything. So we'll see how that works out. JJ, I'd want full details of how it escalated to getting the police to do a welfare check. Yeah. Was the driver non-responsive? No. How far does it have to go? They called the police. Now, this guy filmed it, okay? So it's a YouTube video about it, and he filmed it happening, so it isn't like this is made up. They called the police because it was time for him to leave, and he didn't leave. And so what they do is call the police, because they didn't have another driver there, to go do a welfare check. Oh, we haven't heard from this driver, so we want to make sure he's okay. But so then the police go knock on your door and wake you up and get you up. And you go, I'm fine. And they told the company he was fine. They shouldn't be misusing police resources. Because he already had a camera running in the truck. That's how all this got filmed. And so that's what they did to wake him up to get him moving. It's crazy. That kind of thing should never happen unless it's a legitimate check. He's just not on a break. Otherwise, they should call in every driver that's on their break. Oh, we haven't heard from him. Let's go wake him up. That kind of stuff shouldn't happen at a trucking company. What trucking company pays for everything without remote control trucks? Oh, that's true. Mark, most animals don't eat as much as Gracie. Wendy, yes. I will tell you, she eats a lot, right. Congestion, I wonder how they're going to regulate that one. Steel horse, that's what I wondered too. When they said congestion, who decides, congestion? Is it going to go under the premise of that you didn't know about it at the beginning of your trip and had no way to know about it? Does regular Chicago traffic count? Is New York City just always count for 2 hours? They're giving it a lot of leeway where you can say, well, there was congestion, and so I get 2 extra hours of driving. And how do you prove that later? Do you have to take a screenshot of Google Maps that's showing it's all red? I mean, I don't know. Yes, time to drive to worser conditions. Exactly. S2H. 6 dogs, 4 cats. Bet that house smells like a pet refuge. Oh, the house doesn't have to smell bad, right? Cat. We have 2 cat boxes because you always have one more than per cat. They're cleaned a couple times a day. Everything right. It smells super nice in here. Scentsy. Keeps everything doing good. GP Transco, which I'm always sad to hear about this, had another messy Chernobyl-style truck returned from departing driver. What is going on? Head is off to the maintenance team. Please keep your trucks clean. I don't understand it. Maybe when the trucks come through a terminal, somebody should just open a door. It is a company truck. And I'm not saying a TMC-style inspection, okay? But they can open the door up and see if it's just piled full of garbage and say, hey, let's keep the truck, there's a new truck and you're going to mess it up. How does that person live? When people are gone, drivers are gone, go on and look at their cars. Go look inside the car. If their car is full of garbage to the roof, your truck is going to be trashed out. I mean, holy mackerel. Michael, wow, a day of adverse and stopping the clock for 3 hours in the wintertime and you have a 19-hour day. No, now they said no to that. Okay, you cannot combine them, just like now. So you're going to do one or the other. You're not going to be able to do that. I thought about that right away. No, it's just like now. You can't combine them. Good catch, though. But right, I thought and said, oh, are you going to be able to do that? No. So if you're in an adverse condition, you also can't stop your clock. You're going to have to pick one, whichever one you're going to do. Whichever one, I guess, benefits you more would be the one you would pick. But you can't do I thought about that. Holy crap, 19 hours. James Faust, love your 2 cats. They're rescue cats. Rescue animals make the best pets. Exactly, because they know that you rescued them. That's what I think. Guillermo, love your pit bull and lab, but not torture them by putting them in the truck. If it's not a great life for the dog, it's not a great life for you. Wild Bill, rush hour in Chicago on a Friday. You could spend 4 hours getting out of town. But see, that's the thing about rush hour in Chicago or any large city. So we're on the tri-state up there and it's backed up, but that's something you should know, right? Or could have known at the beginning of your trip. So would that count as an adverse condition? Maybe. It's congestion. Al Johns. If New York and Chicago, then they got to include Atlanta. Yeah, any major city that has backups, that kind of thing. Absolutely. All our minor rescues, Josh, that is great. And, as a volunteer to rescue, I appreciate that. My wife does an inspection on you when you have home time. That's good. I think I'll leave that at that. Yikes. Michael, you leave. I like my dogs and cats at Panda Express in 1-inch cubes. Holy moly. Over in the mall. Driving my life away trying to find a better way. Exactly. GP Transco, getting out of Chicago on Friday is an absolute nightmare. I'm concerned about your Tesla is not going to make it out. You're going to run out of juice just sitting in traffic there. Yikes. Don't forget about Brake Safety Week. I also wanted to bring that up. That is September 15th through the 21st. So that is just a month away. Get your brakes in line and get ready for that. Nobody has said as much as I thought they would about the 30-minute break. What do you think about getting your 30 minutes back from the break? 30 minutes on duty time. You're almost not going to have to take a break, probably. I see a lot of people that will eliminate the time that they had to spend at the fuel island or wherever else. It won't be necessary, really, to take a break because you can do that on duty. So people fueling, they actually said that in the FMCSA. It isn't any problem fueling or whatever else you're doing because what they really want to do is give you a break from driving, not just a break where you have to just sit there. But as long as you're not driving, they consider that a break. They're trying to give you a break from your driving. So, and remember, all these rules, no matter what the rule is, only prevents drive time. It doesn't prevent any other time. You can always work as much as you want, just wouldn't be able to drive until you are back in compliance with all these different goofy rules. And there'll be tons of, every company, of course, will have training out and stuff like that for it. And a lot of people will probably get tickets in the switchover, just like we did on this. It'll be a mess when it finally comes in. Troy, animals are all your favorite, whether they're feathered, furry, or fiend. Exactly. Right. I'll take all of them. Crumb Daddy likes a new 30-minute rule. This one I'm okay with because the 30 minutes took off of the day for unpaid time. And so really cut your pay when they did the 30-minute break of off-duty time. You didn't get any, you couldn't work. And so they were cutting your time. You weren't getting paid. Now they're giving you the 30 minutes basically to be on duty or whatever else you were doing. That's going to be paid time, at least hopefully. Anyway, it'll be mostly paid time. Adam, go to Death Valley, leave the dog in the truck, come back. That's not great, right? We don't want to do any of that. Minimum required for interior inside glass, clean, drink holder free of drinks and stains, no trash. Look, I'm not saying, and I totally agree with you, right, Still Horse? You just keep the truck like you live in it. I mean, who wants to live in a Chernobyl disaster area? This driver's living in that? I mean, that's gross. You're living in there. Shouldn't it be someone? There's garbage cans everywhere. I always wonder that you get in the truck and there's a gigantic garbage bag that's full of 50 days of stuff. Okay, throw that stuff out. That's not that hard to do. The truck, you should keep it clean. Look, the trucks are expensive and it's a company, asset. If you're a company driver, it's not too much to ask that you keep it in a reasonable condition. Now, scrubbing it, to like brand new condition is one thing. It's still a used truck, but gee whiz. It doesn't, when a company has to dress their maintenance people in a biohazard suit, and give them outside oxygen to get in your truck, okay, that is not acceptable. That should not be something that's acceptable. Driver got fired at Smith after the shop had to do PM in his truck and was trashed. By the way, it's a 2019 389. See, yeah, that's crazy, and he should be fired. There's no reason to trash your truck. No reason to it. Is that person, you probably don't know, is their car trash too? I mean, because you can't, you're just not compartmentalizing yourself, right? This is how this person probably is. So their house is trashed or their car is trashed. I mean, gee whiz, maybe that should be part of when drivers come over to talk to you or whatever, go out and check their car. When they're in talking to you, just somebody go poke their, look in the windshield of their car. If it's got 50 million Quick Trip pop containers in there, you got a problem. Guillermo, you do a fuel and walk around, not a pre-trim. Al Johns, the only positive I can see with the extra time is you're stuck at a dock and they won't let you sleep there. Well, you can still already do that, right? Because the FMCSA a while ago allowed people to drive to the nearest safe legal parking as personal conveyance legally if you are at a dock and run out of hours and you cannot stay there. So they already allow that, but I can see what you're saying. What's going to happen with this 3 hours, though, is it puts a lot less pressure on shippers and receivers to get you out. Because they're going to tell the company, hey, this driver doesn't have to leave. They have 3 hours that they can sit here before we even have to really do anything with them. It has just reduced the pressure on the industry, thereby reducing our pay, which is not a great plan. Michael, but no, you have to work doing your break, and who's getting paid for fueling and getting your recipes, receipts? Okay, you're not getting paid for that per se, but what had happened before is you had to fuel and then park for 30 minutes, and then probably people weren't logging the fuel stops and stuff like they should have. Now you might actually log it because it can be part of a 30-minute break, where before it wasn't really legally part of a 30-minute break. People put it off duty, but certainly, now I know you're not getting, most places don't pay for fueling. I think I've seen a few places pay it, but you're not normally, but it will increase the amount of time in the same 14-hour period that you'll get paid, because you won't have 30 minutes of where you have to sit out and really violate your log by doing stuff off duty. Amos, am I driving? Not at the moment, right? I'm just sitting in the desk right now. Comfortable man, it is a company's responsibility to pay for washing their truck. I agree. However, drivers should keep the inside of vehicles clean. Absolutely. Right. I mean, that's good. You're right. I wouldn't wash the truck, right? I don't think that driver does that. The company washes the outside, but the inside, you're living in there. The thing about it is, keep it spotless or whatever, you live in there. I mean, why are you living in a disaster area in your truck? Now, come on. Can you throw garbage out of the truck, for crying out loud? The guy lived out of town from the terminal, so he must have had a car there. I wish they would have gone and looked at his car. The Tesla passenger cars have a dog mode that keeps the pet comfortable if you step out. I saw that. It'd be cool if the Semi had that as well. It should have a driver mode. Also on Tesla cars, which have a gigantic screen in the center there, it says dog mode, something to the effect of dog is comfortable, and it shows the interior temperature of the car, 72 or whatever, to keep the dog, or whatever. It could be a cat too. Let's give it that. comfortable in the car while you're not in the car. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And presumably they'll run the air all night or whatever in those trucks if it had that kind of thing. Our company drivers have 1% free truck washes and owner operators have free washes. Oh, that's good. They even give the owner operators washes. Wish they washed our trailers here more often than that. People with all that trash around never think straight because they worry about their trash. It doesn't make any sense. You're living in the truck. Keep it clean. James Faust, it's bad when you can be killed by the flying trash in your truck than by the actual crash. That's the other. How about safety? That's a good point too, right? All this stuff comes flying all over the place in an accident. Wish I had enough time to drive there. Yeah, comfortable, man. It might be a while for you. Lou, the geologist, checking in from Houston. Oh, so you are a geologist? That's awesome. Your job rocks. How about that? Yeah, I just came up with that now. Hard to believe, right? GP, I wash my truck 3 times a week in the summer. Wow. That's crazy. Trashy trucks show mental illness. Look, you can keep your truck halfway clean. Even GP Transco thinks that's a lot of washes. Do a lot of companies that have steam cleaners in their maintenance bays so truckers could get their seats hit with a quick steam clean? Wow, I don't think there's many that do it. Guillermo likes it to look shiny. Look, if you can afford it and want to wash it, more power to you. I will say I wash the car pretty often in the winter to keep all the salt and beet juice off of it because they mix liquid salt with beet juice here, which sticks all underneath your car in the Midwest here and eats all your car up. The wires and everything get eaten up with that stuff. So it goes through the wash quite often in the wintertime. Once a week in the summer, I think's enough. Michael, is it me or Love stops getting nicer and Pilot Flying J getting worse? Look, that Love's I stopped at the 230 on I-65 this weekend was really nice. It had a million roller wieners. It had all kinds of tacos. It had a big, electronics. It was pretty nice. I was impressed. John, I'm getting ready for truck driver school. Doing any pre-hire programs? Truck school, all I'm saying is call your state and see if they will pay for it. That is the first thing you should do. Michael, is the dog mode an excuse to leave your kids in the car in this heat? Well, look, Michael, you could because it keeps the car 70 degrees or whatever temperature you set on it. So really you could leave your kid in the car because it's running the air conditioning. You're not really leaving them in the car with the car off. You're leaving them in there with the temp, although it's only for dogs. It says dog mode. Maybe it should say dog and kid mode on it. Chrome and cleanliness is a mental illness. You got to keep that stuff looking clean. They need a TV show called Truck Living Hoarders. I guess they could start at GP Transco since they're getting all these. That's 2 of them now. That's just crazy because the trucks are basically new. Steelhorse parked next to a rail truck last week in 100 degrees and he wasn't idle. No APU windows rolled down. Oh my God. Do they not allow people to run the truck at rail? It's 100 degrees. How hot is it in the truck? It's still 100 and something in the truck. Must smell great in there too. SJ Transportation pays for truck and tank wash. Driver gets paid too. That is really good. Okay, so there's a place paying that stuff. Al Johns, you got into a discussion about trashing the truck. All I said isn't your job to resell the truck. I got called so many names. Look, well, the inside of the truck. Okay, that's where you live. That's what you should keep clean. I think we can agree on this. You should keep the inside of the truck clean. It's especially as a company driver. It's their truck. And I'm saying don't trash it. Like when you go to a motel, people stay at a motel. Do you just trash it? Just leave the room totally trashed? No, nobody does that. Okay, or at least I hope they don't unless you're a rock star. You live in the truck, keep it clean. That's all. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to pine saw it every single day. But keep the truck clean where people don't have to come in biohazard suits with oxygen tanks to clean your truck out. Paulo, good day, sir. Oh, nice. My name is Paul, and I'm currently working for a food service company, grossing $1,900 a week. Sweet. I've saved money to buy a truck to pull containers from Savannah, Georgia. What is my take? I've never done that, okay, and I'm not an owner-operator, but I'll ask you this. As a company driver, why would you leave a job that grosses $1,900 a week to pull containers from Savannah, Georgia with no benefits? Let me ask that question just as a company driver, that thinks you're doing very good. GP Transco had a driver drove with a snake. I didn't know. Is that on your pet policy? Snake disappeared. Thought to have escaped. Driver quit. Snake came out of hiding and said hi to new driver. Snakes are not allowed now. So you allowed snakes? That is awesome. Yeah, I think that it's reasonable to not allow exotic pets, right? Cat or dog should be about it. Opt-idle is a joke. That's horrible too, but I mean, this rail truck is not running. Or do they not allow people to run their truck? James Faust needs to get White Castle Wednesday official recognition. Oh my God. If they would sponsor this channel, I would sit here and just eat White Castles all day. Steel Horse, they wash my truck for you once a week minimum. That is really good. They're every 2 weeks here. They come by and wash the trucks, so which I still think is okay. But yeah, they keep their trucks in good shape there, right? They're clean. Twice is even better. That's super sweet. At Smith, Michael has a wash bay at Smith, so you can wash once a day with a trailer on the road. Blue Beacon once a month, and pay for Rain-X and Citrus for your polished chrome. So you just pay a little bit extra, but you're not required to. You do it because you want to. That's fair, right? That's totally fair. They're still washing it. And so is it one of those drive-through wash bays or whatever? You hit the button and drive through it at the terminals. So that's pretty good too. Who brings their pet snake to work? Well, Bill, somebody who doesn't want to leave it at home for, however long, for a week. I drove a Swift truck for 8 months. They never let you have that truck washed. They don't pay for washes at Swift at all. Don't they have washes at the terminal? Something. So the truck is just 8 months and not being washed. What a disaster. Don't get me started on idle times. Glenn, I bet. You have enough problem. Considering how much they make there. Come on. I don't like waiting in line at Shipper behind a guy smelling like a trash can. Oh my gosh, there was a guy like that at the Loves. What is going on? It's a weekend. Go in there and get a shower. Okay, please. The snake came out of hiding while the new driver was asleep. To make it worse, the driver had a fear of snakes. Who wouldn't have a fear of snakes? And do not tell me the driver was Wesley Snipes. That's all I'm saying. Steel Horse, does that snake eat goats? Do you feed it in the truck? That's the thing. What does the snake eat? Ugh. I love using Lysol wipes to wash your hands and the shifter. Yeah, that little round container of them. Beautiful, right? Absolutely agree with keeping the truck clean. Took a video of your last truck inside and outside. Yeah, I mean, it's not unreasonable for a company to say, look, you have to keep the truck clean. That's all. They're not saying it, whatever, but keep it clean. We expect them to wash the truck. Can't they expect that we keep the inside where we live clean? Mostly fed the snake with tacos. Snakes don't eat tacos in the wild. Do they chase wild tacos? TA, as a college student in the 80s, psychology says a messy person goes back to potty training. If your parents were lack, the child will be lack. Oh, nice. Company paid wash every 2 months. The truck gets pretty dirty 2 months. My truck turns off in the middle of the night and doesn't turn back on. Most of the time it ends up turning off and won't stay on. Terrible. Yeah. So you already got, this is more reason that you should be looking somewhere else. You can't, that's no kind of life. You're not making a ton of money there. And then, you can't get a good night's sleep. That is no life. Seriously, you can do better. And I hope that you'll take some time to call around to places. And you can tell them this. I'd say, look, this is what's happening. What is going to happen? What's the policy at your company on this idling and that kind of thing? Find somebody that will either let you run the truck or give you an APU. Michael says at Smith, it's no pets unless you have a certified service pet and you get a sticker. Yeah, some companies do that too. I think Snakes is very liberal pet policy, certainly. But I see why they cancel it. James Faust, thanks for being here today. And I hope that goes well. And we will see you on next Monday. Steel Horse, the St. Louis Zoo has a 200-pound python that eats adult goats. Yikes. Al Johns, I don't understand people who keep spiders and snakes for pets. Yeah, how many people at GP Transco have spiders now? Well, Bill went to the doctor this morning. You guys are all seeing the physicians. You got it. Swift would not pay for a truck wash in 8 months. Some of the terminals have a wash bay, but it's straight water. Oh, they have a rinse bay, and they don't pay to ever wash their trucks. Well, when you see a really clean Swift truck, are you saying the driver has paid for that himself then out of his own pocket? I can't function when the truck isn't organized. Is their house a disaster too, a Chernobyl disaster, which I think is a great word for it? Michael, I use odor ban and Armor All to keep the inside clean and smelling good and wash my bedding at least every 4 weeks. Yeah, right? How come big carriers don't recognize local cartage or excavating experience? I don't know. I always wondered that too. Because you run locally or whatever, especially if you have a lot of experience, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get in and get a job. But these large mega carriers, I think they probably figure, look, if you have a lot of experience, you're not going to come and work there anyway. Seriously? I mean, really. Roger Penske says, Mick Jagger time. Wild tacos couldn't drag you away. Who feeds a snake a taco? Can we just be truthful about that? No, the clean truck is new. Oh, okay. So, Michael, so the only clean trucks are new trucks. Guillermo, Lone Star truck washes twice a week, but if you could get into delivery or shipper that's muddy, you can rewash the truck. Man. Comfortable, man. That's what you're saying. I don't understand it. I don't understand. Are they saving money? Do they think it saves money? What about in the wintertime? Don't they want to get all the salt and stuff off the trucks? I mean, gee whiz. Scrubs and a bucket hand towel will cut through axle grease. They're better than Lysol. Why would Swift wash a truck that will be wrecked in a week? That's a good point, right? A Jesus, husky male and a female, had 9 puppies in the truck. Driver got fired after the company found out, what is going on? Are we doing a dog breeding thing in the truck now? What are drivers not doing in their truck? It doesn't make any sense. Breeding dogs in the truck. 9 puppies. Al will take one of the puppies. Gets pick of the litter. I want to go over these changes for people that might have just joined. So 30 minutes, the hours of service, 30-minute break on duty time required after 8 driving hours. Okay, it does not have to be after 8 hours on duty, and it can be on duty or off duty. That's your 30-minute break. You can take a 30-minute to 3-hour time where you stop your clock once a day, and then you must take a 10-hour break. So that would extend your clock by as much as 3 hours up to 17 hours. You can now split your sleeper, not now, okay? When this goes into effect, you'll be able to split your sleeper 7-3. And both of those sections stop your clock, which they currently don't do. Adverse conditions will extend your day by 2 hours to 16 hours. So you get your 2 hours of driving time extra, but you'll also extend your day by 2 hours. Short haul drivers, 150 air miles, which is 177.6 statute miles, as they said, and 14-hour day instead of 12, as long as you're released where you started. So if you go off duty anywhere else than where you started, you're not considered a short haul driver. So because that's for local drivers. So that is the upcoming changes. Go to the description, click the link, and make your comments known to the FMCSA. Go right through and fill out the comment thing and tell them what you think. Try not to swear at them and stuff because they dismiss those things. So DA says that's a puppy mill on 18 wheels. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is a company truck. Look, I always hold companies to this high standard to treat people well, but that comes on both sides. So, I should probably say that more. As professionals, if we're driving a $150,000, $175,000 truck, we have somewhat of a responsibility to keep it clean. And I give TMC a lot of grief about, being showroom condition or whatever, which I think is excessive. But there's no reason a driver can't keep the truck in reasonable condition when they're driving it around. They're living that truck. Keep it clean. It's expensive. We want companies to give us, we want new trucks. Give us the best trucks, all the best trucks, and we trash the truck. And so then the company's like, why should we spend all this money on trucks when our drivers that we get just trash them, okay? We have to be a professional driver, but we have to treat the equipment that the company gives us as a professional. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to say for drivers. We can't only ask from them and not give anything back and say, well, I'm just going to do whatever I want, but I expect a new truck every 6 months. I don't think that's the way it should work. Michael says that's why Swift has white trucks. You can't see the salt. If that salt stays on, it's going to eat that truck into nothing. It's going to turn into a rust disaster. My truck will not idle 30 to 60 degrees, says Steel Horse, but will idle at any other temperature, and you have a bunk heater. Oh, I love those fuel-fired bunk heaters. Man, they burn you out of those things. That S-bar heater, I love that thing. And that runs at any time, right? And then so the truck idles above 60, and as long as they don't give you too much grief about it, I'm in. So they take care of you and let you get a good night's sleep. Glenn, we get a full-price Blue Beacon wash per month, and at the yard there's a fleet wash every day. So they take care of your trucks. Seth, I thought the 8-hour rule was already law. What is the 8-hour? Okay. We have to take a 30-minute break right now after 8 hours of on-duty time. The new rule, you will be required to take a 30-minute break after 8 driving hours, not after 8 hours on duty. And the new rule will be the break can be on duty. It doesn't have to be off duty. So that's how they're changing that. So you can see how that would affect your day. 8 driving hours, and it can be on duty. Hell, think about 9 puppies in the winter. No need to idle, just snuggle for 10 hours. Oh, it would be a snuggle fest in there for sure. Adam, what about the meat plant that spray under your truck to sanitize? How do you keep all the flies out? Ugh. Gross. K-Dub, playing roadside mechanic today, patching a coolant leak? Yikes. Do we have that stop leak, that stuff you pour in there? Love it. Right, I've used that in my Granada years ago. How about that? Just passed my state CDL test. Have to wait 48 hours before getting your license at the DDS, the doctor, the dentist. I'm going to drive a dump truck for a few months because of personal issues and hopefully going over the road. Hey, you might like driving the dump truck and stay there, so you never know. But to absolutely get some experience, that'll get you some good local experience. That'll be great. Lucky for you, you only sleep 6 hours, so it doesn't do much to my sleep schedule. Just hot. It's too hot. I'll be looking and calling around, though. Only 3 months into this career. Don't give up. I'll say this, don't give up on trucking, right? Just, don't give up on trucking. There's better places than that, but you're not getting a good night's sleep when it's that super hot, and there's no excuse for them. This is where we hold the company and say, look, we got to get a good night's sleep. For that, I'm going to take care of your truck, but you got to at least let me sleep. Geez. GP Transco says companies that don't provide the driver with an APU or EPU at the same time don't allow idling are nuts. I don't understand it. I mean, they want you to go out there, be safe. But to be safe, you have to get a good night's sleep. That's not an unreasonable thing. So they can at least do electronic APU, let you run the truck. They have to do something. They would never sleep in their car at night with their windows open. That is not any kind of thing at all. GP Transco had to tell a driver they can't bring their 2 parrots on board. How come you get all these weird people that apply to GP Transco with do you advertise an exotic pet monthly or something for drivers? Where are all these drivers coming from? 2 parrots. Can I bring 2 parrots with me? No. Parrots. Kim, I'm back. Had to take your designated roller wiener break. That should be part of that's the break, any break, and that's part of a good breakfast. I saw that on a commercial. Does dump truck, where did I go off to here, right? Does dump trucking pay good? It might be. Depends. It should pay hourly, right? My friends started training at night. So far, everything is 100% positive. They allow cats and riders, and the rider can have a CDL. Good. Yeah, no contract there. Right. Love it. You must take a bath before picking up load. They ask you to have took a bath. Who asked you if you've taken a bath? S2H. Right. I'll leave that right there. Oh, right. What about 1 parrot? Is it because of a parrot limit? Because most drivers don't care about the truck because they didn't pay for it. But that's the thing of it. Well, that's true. When people don't pay for something, they don't care anything about it. Right. People only care when they pay. But, we can't go out there and say, look, I'm a professional, and so I want a good pay, and I expect a new truck, and I expect you to treat me well and everything, but I'm just going to trash your truck, and I don't care, about the load or anything, and it's not fair for us to do, I'm sure you agree with that, but that's what I'm saying is, because you didn't pay for the truck, it's a piece of equipment that somebody paid a lot of money for, so there's no reason to just trash it. I mean, maybe that's why people don't do it at a hotel, because they pay for the room. That's a good point, right? Adam, got to wash or rinse the truck on hot because the truck never cools. Oh, right, and thank you for that very much. I appreciate it. I'm back. Where did I go off to? Right, right, I'll leave that at that one, right. Drivers that show up at the shipper receiver, not even flies want to hang out, are insane. GP Transco says idle is much higher maintenance cost. Yes, it kills the engines, right, which means drivers end up earning less. APU is your friend. I love them. All right, I think companies that have them, it's a great investment. It's one of the things that allows the drivers. It's a good investment for the company. It keeps costs way down on the huge engine, right? So absolutely. But at least if the company doesn't have it, then they've got to let you idle or do something. To not let you do anything, I don't think that's acceptable. Comfortable man, not driving 8 hours straight, or will drive 4 to 6 hours and take your 30-minute break. Yes, you could do it at any time. Just after 8 driving hours, you'll be required to show a 30-minute break, and which can be on duty. So you could stop fuel, or if you're at a ship or whatever it is, there's your 30 minutes of trying to get in and back in and everything. There's your 30-minute break. Restarts that. As always, all these rules only limit your drive time. The DOT never limits any other time. You can work as much as you want. Only drive time is limited. So always remember that. Only limited for drive time. At Warner, it was 27 to 78. No idling. That's pretty warm. But look, it depends how it works out. But 78 on the pavement, truck can get warm, right? So it still gets warm inside. That's still better than a lot of places. E. Summers, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for sending that over. Does Connecticut still ban trucking on a Sunday? No, I don't think so. I think there's truckers running on Sunday in Connecticut. What could possibly be their... and I've never heard that, so, no one's ever stopped me on a Sunday. What would be the rationale? Is that like a blue law? Only if they're blue parrots. Oh, could the driver bring blue parrots to GP Transco? How about that? I'd just get an extra blanket. It would be nice. GP Transco. Oh, that's not good, right? R-rated traffic parrots. Thanks for answering your question. Your cousin works for a container, bringing home $450 a day, and home every day, and weekend work optional. I'm married and could get in my wife's insurance. Well, look, if you don't need the insurance, it's still $450 a day is on what, $2,200 a week. You're making $1,900 a week. So he brings home $450. All right, so that's a little more. It's a little more. I gotta say, $1,900. It'd be tough. I wouldn't leave a $1,900 job. Wouldn't. That's just me. I'm not an owner-operator, though. So, and I've certainly not pulled containers out of Savannah. If anybody here has experience with that, I'd like to see what you say about it. It's really tough to leave a $1,900 a week job, really. If you do dump truck, go union, but it's boring work. I just installed satellite TV and carpeting your truck over the weekend. You can drive barefoot now. It's so soft. Oh, is it shag carpet? Or is it that carpet with the inlaid pattern, which I love from the 70s? My mom had that. Then, of course, if it was my mom's house, you'd have all the couches covered with plastic as well. And some of them we couldn't sit on, which I always loved. We had a whole room. One of the rooms there, we were not allowed to sit on the furniture. It was all covered in plastic. We never used the room. Oh, they're like, oh, you can't sit in here. Well, I'm like, the couch? No, we're not allowed to sit in there. Love it. All must be sanitized when dealing with places with live animals. Really? How do you prove you took a shower? You got to have a shower receipt? That reminds me, as a dump truck threw a rock at me and made a big 4-inch rock chip into your company truck windshield. I was like, oh, well, it's getting a DEF filter clean and maintenance this week, so they'll replace the windshield anyhow. Can an APU keep up with these temperatures? I have found that they can, even at 100 degrees, as long as the curtains were closed, all the way around all the windshields. I thought, yes, it would keep up. And like Steel Horse said, with that S-bar bunk heater, that thing would blow you out of there. I found that no problem, would keep up in the wintertime. So, but the APU, yeah, it would keep up with all the curtains closed. That's why you like Walmart. All the trucks have tri-packs. Yeah, at least they're letting you stay comfortable, and they pay you to sleep in there too, even though I'm not a huge fan of the place. You get something every time you sleep in the truck. How long can you leave your car in a storage unit? I started, but that's it, as long as you pay the storage unit, right? I tell you, I've left my car sitting for 6 weeks outside at some over-the-road places and not had any come and started it. This has been some years ago, and I assume you can leave stuff in a storage unit as long as you pay the storage unit. And I don't think you should start it. I think it should just sit there. Starting and idling it, that's bad. You need to either get it up to temperature or just let it sit there. The APU will cool the truck to 60 on a 113-degree day, Guillermo says. I think so, right? It'll keep up. As long as I had the curtains closed, I never had any problem staying cool in there, no problem. Kim worked at a company that had a Thermo King and used it, worked just fine at 120 degrees in Texas. Company work now makes their own fuses and it works better. That's awesome. APU or an APU can absolutely keep up with the temperature. It requires training the driver on how to use it, and you're good to go. Exactly. You don't have to run the truck even in the hottest temperature, whatever, no problem. I noticed Walmart is marketing 80 a year, 89 cents equivalent. That is what they do say, right? I just can't keep all their weird policies. I just don't like all their kind of weird policies. I don't. Jacob, what's my favorite truck? I love Western Stars, okay? I had one years ago. Thought it was the best made truck. It was super quiet. The doors seemed solid when you'd close them. That's how I could tell it's a good truck. I just love them. I don't see many of them on the road because they're expensive. But for me, give me a Western Star any day. GP Transco is going to check on their primate policy. Kim, just to point out, the panel for the thermal cane inside the truck is a rubber nipple at the bottom. Is a button, you push it, you break your APU. It's a temperature sensor. Oh, for the inside of the truck. 85 to 95 at Walmart first year. That's what they advertise. Blue parrots are always welcome. GP Transco will accept 2 blue parrots, but not 2 macaw parrots. Please ask Mark about what I think about working at Walmart. Yes, exactly. Not a huge fan of Walmart trucking. The pay is not everything. People only look at pay. Pay is not everything. I would rather make less at a company I like to work for than more at a place that is bothering me about all kinds of stupid little policies. Like you can only make 6 10-minute phone calls a day and other drivers report you, that kind of thing. That is not a good policy. You know, I just don't like these kind of little niggling policies that try to get in every little part of your life. I took a shower, never had to go through other stuff, but they do ask if you took a bath. Really? And do you have an aluminum can in the truck and other stuff that may be hazardous? Why is an aluminum can hazardous? At Smith, they built their own APU called the Green APU. I hope they don't make the driver build it. Walmart pays well, but it requires extra work and micromanaging. Yeah, exactly. You've had drivers leave Walmart and come to you. Exactly. Pay is not everything. So they advertise $89,000. Big deal. Do you want to be micromanaged all day by some gigantic faceless corporation? No. Right? For me, no. 6 10-minute calls. Oh, are we going to check your phone records? Or we're going to do all this? No. You can't. No way. You run 2 fans to keep the air moving from your APU. Arizona gets hot. Have to keep the windows covered. Yeah, that's what I thought too. When I was running APU like that, you have to close the curtains. And I would have a fan too. I agree. A little plug-in fan that kept everything circulating. But then it's fine. A safe truck is a good truck and one that you can get some sleep in. Kim, if one of your drivers were to install a shag carpet in the truck, would you care? Well, as long as you just lay it on the floor. Michael, to work for Walmart, you got to be single, so you don't have to worry about the phone call. You just can't answer the phone there. It's just these kind of stupid little policies. That and the K&B doing that with the phone too, where they're the reverse of it. So they're micromanaging your day. There's tons of videos about that where you come out at 10 hours, you're getting calls at like 9.5 hours. Time to get up. Time to get moving. Why aren't you moving? Get over here and get moving. That kind of thing is super aggravating. You give me a time to deliver a load somewhere. Okay, I'll deliver the load on time. That's it. That's all they got to do for me. If you want to deliver it at a different time, you should have arranged that. But just waking you up and stuff and micromanaging your day and checking your phone records, how aggravating is that? And why does the company have time to do that? You think the company would have better things to do, like running a huge company, a trucking company, rather than micromanaging each driver? How about we all they stick to that part, I'll do this part, and everybody makes more money that way too. Just logged it at 15 hours and 45 minutes. Wow. GT40, glad you're hourly. Wow. I hope that's overtime hourly too. Aluminum cans so you don't smoke crack? I don't understand it. What are you breaking the thing up to do your crack pipes or whatever? It doesn't make any sense. When I work flatbed, some metal plants don't allow plastic bottles on site because liquid splashing into the molten metal. Really? So what do they go through your truck or just ask you, do you have plastic bottles or something like that? Jesus, I was told dump trucking is for drivers. I denied a local dump offer job because of that. Really? That's really something. Now, it's been a long time since I did flatbed work, but nobody ever said anything to me then. I guess they didn't think anything about it in the 80s. Do you have plastic, in your truck or anything? I don't remember anybody ever asking me about it. Steel Horse, you had a friend order a monkey by mail? I didn't know you could do that. It came, got loose in the house, and threw stuff at us. What stuff did it throw at you? And who delivers a monkey? By mail? Does it just show up like the UPS guy knocks on the door? Monkey Graham. I would not slip seat a sleeper truck, so Walmart is not for you. Yeah, what about slip seating your truck? Who wants to slip seat a sleeper truck? Just that, even without the phone, is enough for me. I don't care if they paid $100,000. I'm not slip seating a truck. I have to sleep in that truck. You got to take all your stuff out. All your CB, everything's got to come out. Everything comes out. Take all your bedding out and everything. No way. Your carpeting, if you've installed carpeting, you'd have to take that out. Trucking companies should try what Greyhound did to get good drivers. What did they do? Drivers must be a commissioned officer in the Air Force or Navy or Army and be a member of the Masonic Order. I don't know if Greyhound did that or not. You have to be a Mason to be a Greyhound driver and a commissioned officer. What kind of limited, marketing would that be? Where do you advertise in commissioned officer, Freemason monthly? I mean, that would be a very limited pool of drivers. If you work for Walmart and driver, do you get store discounts? I think you do, yes. But as I always say, you shouldn't be shopping at Walmart. At least that's my opinion. I don't shop at Walmart and don't recommend other people do. But I think you're a Walmart employee, so I think you get a discount. I don't know how they discount some of the stuff. It's only like 3 cents. Adam, no idea if it's the rules or policy. No smoking or vaping on the property. Must walk a mile from the place, over a mile to get in or out. Well, a lot of cities and, stuff like that have no smoking. And it's generally no smoking at work. So that I understand because of policy. Maya won't put APU on trucks because of weight. The less the truck weighs, the more they can haul. Then they got to let you run the truck. Then they should let you run the truck. Aluminum plants do ban stuff like that, and they run you through a radiation detector. I just close your curtain and tell them you don't have anything. Really? That's really something. Well, if it's staying in the truck, it shouldn't be any problem, right? They just ask you about it. Oh, that's good enough. Guillermo says that's dumb because they get the exception. Yeah, they're getting an exemption for the thing anyway, so what's the difference? It's not like it's adding any weight to the truck. Refuse to slip seat a truck comfortable, man. It's crazy, isn't it? Who can you imagine slip seating your sleeper? So every time you come home, you have to clear it out. Everything. You installed your CB, take it out. You installed shag carpet, take it out, right? You have your extra bunk back there for the monkey, it comes out. Everything comes out. The perch up there, your parrots, all that comes out. And then when you come in, you get a different truck. So forget that. Plus, that leads to maintenance issues because everybody knows if you're not going to be the next one driving it, nobody takes care of it. Nobody writes it up. I'm sure they have those kind of problems as well there, even though they don't talk about it. Joe's like, well, forget this. I'm not getting this truck next time. Let the next driver take care of it. So that's got to be a problem too. Adam, I'm sure you saw over 1 million miles, right? Totally agree about not micromanaging. Our drivers have 10 years experience on average. That's really good. We'd feel uncomfortable trying to micromanage them. Yeah, plus, you're busy enough running a whole gigantic company, right? I can't imagine how companies have time to put all this time into micromanaging their drivers. Don't they have other things to do, like getting freight and, starting primate policies, all that kind of stuff? Monkey by mail is a side plot in the movie Grandma's Boy. Really? People are ordering monkeys in the mail? That's crazy. That's why you need to be single to work as a driver for Walmart. You need to go home and keep your truck. You never need to go home. Oh, you'd get to stay in your truck then, right? Greyhound hired all the drivers you flunked out of truck school so they could get home. Oh, they're already in the bus anyway. You must be a Mason and a commissioned officer. Wow, there's how many people are there that are like that? You can get a 10% discount at Walmart if you're a Walmart driver. There you go. Monkey Graham made you think of Saturday Night Live Land Shark. Oh, I don't remember that one. GP Transco says they prefer 2 years experience, but I'll take you at a year. Give them a call. You can haul more with a Volvo because the truck's lighter than other trucks, 5,000 or more in weight. Well, then I guess it wouldn't matter. But the APU, to not put an APU on, you get an exemption for the APU. They do, but I get emails about my idle time. Yeah, but tell them to get lost. If they're not going to give you a way to do it, I personally write them and say, look, what do you want me to do here? They said the AP users are going to be starting to get regulated with the aftermarket system. Oh my God, you're going to have to put DEF for the APU? That's where they come out the new generation of Go Green ones. So we're going to have will it have its own separate DEF tank or will it pull it from the tank on the semi just like the truck does? That doesn't make any sense either. If they're going to aftermarket treat that thing. I guess they do it with the reefer, so I guess they would have to do it on that too. This adverse driving conditions also, the 2 extra hours of driving, we already have that. Remember that. Can already go to 13 hours currently, but they're going to allow you to go 16 total hours. That was the change in that. Some people were asking me about that. We can already do 13 hours on adverse driving. And they talked about congestion for that. But we don't know what congestion is. That congestion that Like in Chicago, we know it's going to be congested. Is this an unusual congestion? It just depends what they actually decide. This is not going to go into effect, remember, any of these rules, probably until at least spring, at least. They said they're going to get a bunch of lawsuits. That's what they anticipate already. Which is another reason the EPU is awesome. The EPU works extremely well. Right, no gas because it's electric. Glenn wishes you had an APU. You need it. Right, you need to at least let them run the truck or have an APU. That's not too much to ask. Nobody at the company goes home and sits in their car with the truck off and the windows open, which is crazy to truck stop anyway. You don't know who's coming by. Plus, you can get animals in there. What if somebody has a monkey in another truck and it gets loose? It can get in your truck. That's not something you want. I've heard after a while that they have trouble keeping up with the air conditioning system in extreme heat. I don't know. What do you think, GP Transco? Can your EPU do just as good? I don't see why it wouldn't do just as good, because it's just an electric air conditioning, same as like a window unit at your house or the central air. That's electric. It keeps the whole house cool. So I don't see why. What do we think about that? Can an EPU keep up like an APU? Gracie, not impressed with EPUs. She prefers an APU, but, what can you do about that? Not much, certainly. Get a blue parrot when you go to the Loves, as I always say. And I also want to put this out here, too, because I'll have to take off here in a few minutes, right? Be sure to check out GP Transco right here if you want to talk to them. Talk about getting a better job, where you're not micromanaged in a good truck, with some real money at a regular company. So, and people like they said earlier, people think they're 1099 because they're in the Chicago area. They're not. Okay, it's a regular trucking company. It's not these fly-by-night 1099 places. I wanted to put that out there. Also, be sure to watch Jay at 8 p.m. Central tomorrow at Auto Transport Intel and check out CTS Business Coaching. Yikes. And remember to join OIDA. Thank you for the slide. And I'm a member. You should be a member of OIDA as well. It's the best we've got at the moment, even though they're for these changes, which I'm not for. I've heard after a while that they have trouble keeping up. If you ever see Smith Transport, just look on the back and has advertising for the APU that our company makes. Really, I'll check that out. That's all monkey business to you. When used correctly, they'll run through the night, even on a hot day. But the driver has to be trained. Yeah, I've never seen one work, so I got to believe that drivers would complain that they don't work. So, and if an electric air conditioner can keep your house cool, there's no reason that it can't keep your truck cool. If you must wear it, make it a parrot. I love it, right? I don't know. It seems like a hassle. Just want to turn on and forget about it. Wish you had 1 year experience. You could drive a GP. That year goes by fast. Big, huge Mike in my area. It doesn't matter how much driving experience you have. If you've never drove a dump truck, they don't want to give you a chance, and it makes you laugh. Really? So you can have 20 years of driving experience, and they go, oh, you don't have any dump truck experience? Come on. They can't show you how to do a dump truck if you can already drive? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I want to go over the rules change for people that came in one more time before I head off to work today. So 30-minute break can be on duty, coming up with the new rule change, and it's only after 8 hours driving time, not after the current 8 hours of on-duty time. 7-3 split on your sleeper, that's easy. Both sections stop the clock. Not a lot of people use that. The 30 minutes to 3 hour stop in the clock one time off duty. That's the big one. So you can extend your 14-hour day by up to 3 hours as long as you take an off-duty break, and then you'll need 10 hours of mandatory sleeper or off-duty time. I'm not a fan. We're not going to get paid for it. You're going to sit at shippers and receivers, not get paid for that. That's not going to be great. People that wanted that, I don't think, they got what they asked for, but I don't think this is what they really want, because you're not going to be paid for it. And if you must wear it, make it a parrot. That's what we think here. Not much longer left to wait. Just contact when you're close. Say, comfortable, man? Yes, you only got a few months to go. The time will go by quickly. Guillermo is an OIDA member, gets your insurance through them, even though they are, for some stuff I don't agree with. I agree. Look, they like some stuff, and they don't take a lot of companies to task the way I think they should. But it's our best chance at the moment in Washington. They have 160-some thousand members at the moment. there should be millions of members considering how many drivers there are. But this is the best we've got right now. And you get discounts on stuff. If you're an owner-operator, you can get insurance. They have a legal plan you can get through them. There's all kinds of great things that they do. So, Comfortable Man is waiting on Hub Group to call you back to schedule a drug test. Oh, I've seen their ads. Let us know how that goes there. Kim. Saw a reefer company called Sun State the other day in Georgia, so I called them to see what their outfit was about, and they told me that they don't hire except in the state of Florida. Well, I guess at least they're honest with you about it. Wow, Bill, thanks for another good show. I appreciate it. Jesus, log out at the end of the day instead of go to sleeper berth is the same. You can log out at the end of each day if you're off duty. So, you're off duty, so out you go. If you're not in the truck, maybe you're at a motel, whatever it is, it still counts the same. 10 hours off is 10 hours sleeper is 10 hours. And you can do either way. And you've always been able to split sleeper and off duty. You can go an hour. As long as you have 10 hours continuous sleeper berth or off duty time, it counts for a 10-hour break. The Heady Trucker, thanks for answering the questions and giving you food for thought. Yeah, look, you're quite welcome. And you can do better. You can do way better by, switching. And so because of the really poor treatment that you're getting there, I think, and the relatively low pay, I think you could increase your pay significantly and get treated better somewhere else as well. Sleeping it's 100, maybe you see you get a good night's sleep. Wouldn't it be nicer if you could run the air? That'd be a lot better. Wouldn't it be nicer if you got paid for stops? That kind of stuff is better, and that's kind of standard in the industry. You can do better. I hope that you will at least make a phone call every once in a while and try to find a place. The time they kill you is with storage on your truck without pay. Exactly. Chrome Daddy, thank you very much for saying that. GT40, thanks for being here. And as I wrap up today, I'm going to be heading out and making my company some money. So I want to thank everybody for coming in today. Question is, sleeping in the sleeper berth but having your Qualcomm says you're off duty, a falsification of your logs. Why would the Qualcomm say you're off duty? Can't you choose sleeper berth from it? On our system, there's a panel and you can choose where you want. So can't you hit sleeper berth on there? So is it a falsification? Theoretically, you're in the sleeper. You're supposed to log sleeper berth time. So why is it that you can't put sleeper berth time on there? It must have it as an option. Adco, thanks for being here. I appreciate seeing you there. Wild Bill, thanks for coming in, of course. Steel Horse, as always. We'll have a cat break here for you. And everybody, the cat is waiting to see why you can't log sleeper berth time. We will see if she is impressed in a moment about that. Kay Wayne, thanks for coming in. GP Transco, thank you for coming in here. I appreciate you coming in and answering questions and for just being part of the show. Thanks for being in here. And sharing your weird snake and parrot stories. I don't know. Stop advertising an exotic trucker pet magazine monthly. You can't run ads in there anymore. You're getting too many weird things happening over there. Adco, oh yeah, thanks Adco. I just love cats over here, as always. Dogs too. I'll pet your dog too if I ever see a dog, but give me a cat and I'm all set. Glenn Boatman, thanks for coming here. Thanks for being the first person here on the chat today. I appreciate it. Guillermo, just realized you never hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. If you go over there and hit that, I would appreciate it. I don't ever say that very much here. I don't want to seem like, subscribe begging or whatever, but if you haven't, you can get all the notifications, so I'd appreciate you going over there and doing that. So, Michael Cole, thank you for being here. Kim, I was just wondering if I forgot to switch to sleeper. Oh, are you technically, if you forget to switch, yeah, probably, right? Because you're not really off duty. You're supposed to log sleeper berth as being in the sleeper berth. Remember, you can edit that the next day. So, if say you forget, you can always go back and edit your ELD or log because you're not editing drive time. So, you can edit it the next morning. So, I don't think it's a huge problem. You're still theoretically off, right? So, and you can pursue activities of your own choosing. I wouldn't write you up at a company for it, but you can always edit it the next morning if you did forget. Remember that too. Al, thanks for being here. Kim, I think roller, winter storage, and shag carpet should be free on every truck. You don't want to get too much of that roller wiener juice on the shag carpeting. You don't want that in there, certainly. GP Transco, stop settling for less than making 50 cents. Yes. I mean, any more in the industry, I'm seeing people 30, even in the high 20s. That is not acceptable anymore. It just isn't. When you can see a company that provides a new truck and good pay, and then you see places they won't even wash your truck, and given 20 cents less than that, that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Adco, hope the drive is good. Yes, always hope for everybody to be safe, including me. Comfortable Man, thanks for doing the show. Hopefully a few newer drivers got some good news. I hope so. And anybody that has questions can always write to me. I get back to those as soon as I can. Big, huge Mike, thanks for being here. Have a great week for yourself out there. If you loved all the proper way, you'd pay less because less drive time and more freight storage. How do you get a $200? Some people do get a $200 check, unfortunately. That's the sad part of some of the industry. So, Comfortable Man, thanks for being here. Guillermo, thanks for subscribing and coming in. And for all my new people here, and I'm going to head off and make my company some money. And Gracie is not impressed with the day as usual, but I want to thank you all for being here anyway. And be sure to check out the blog and stuff, and we'll be back next week. So everybody be safe, and more videos coming through the week. I'll see you online.